Hey, good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I
Good
yeah.
can.
morning, James.
Hey, morning all. Let's give a couple of more minutes for other folks to join in.
Sure.
Then we can get started. While we are waiting on other folks, let's. Do you guys want to share one good thing that has happened to you in last 1 week, or probably in a near past?
Sorry?
Do you guys want to share one good thing that has happened to you in your near past? Doesn't have to be professional. Anything good that has happened to you in last, and you guys are volunteered to answer whatever you feel like. There is no agenda behind this. It is just to know that something good has happened in your life or not.
I won lottery.
Oh, you won lottery? Awesome.
That's it. A scratch of lottery last week. $500. That's it.
Oh, that's cool. So your luck is favoring you.
That's what I'm waiting to meet. Big Powerball or Mega Million soon.
Oh wow. That's a good news. And I can definitely see that.
I got to play tennis with Donald Trump.
What was that?
I got to play tennis with Donald Trump.
Oh
Kind of
wow.
like winning the lottery. No, I'm just kidding.
I realized that.
No, one good thing that happened was um, my sister, she's about to have a daughter, firstborn, so finally gonna be an uncle. So I think that's good news.
Oh, that's a pleasant news and
Yeah.
really really big one.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Cool. Anyone else wants to share anything? No? All right. Uh, let's see, who do we have on the call? We're waiting for a couple of more people, but I think we can probably get started now. I think I can tell you one good thing from my side. I had a performance review with my manager last week, and I think I was really happy. I was rated a little more than what I was expecting for the work that I'd done in my office. So really happy about that. But today we are going to cover the mobile app project. And before I dive into mobile app project, I wanted to cover one small exercise with you all. And let me pull up our class notes and we can go from there. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Today we are going to study how, what kind of things are required when you're talking about a software. So our goal is, 03/06/2021. Okay. So our goal today is to understand what kind of things are required to build a software. So first thing, let's say you own a software company. As a business person, what do you feel that you would need? Not a software company, any business for sake, right? Any business, whether you are into a cab business or you are into restaurant business or you are into a hotel business, it doesn't matter. When you own a business, what kind of tools you require?
Funds. First thing is financials.
Okay.
That's the priority.
What's next?
Equipment.
Equipments.
People skills.
What was that, Nisha?
People skills.
People skills.
Yeah, or
Labor,
people.
employees.
Yeah, employees or
Employees.
yeah.
Employees.
Mhm.
Space.
You mean real
Location. I mean
estate?
the location.
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 Real estate. Mhm.
Uh,
And
Product, services, what you're offering.
products or services,
marketing.
marketing. What's next?
Like if you're having restaurant means customer service.
Customer service. Amazing. Think
Mm.
about you are the owner of Walmart store. What all would you need?
Products. I mean, like products are there.
You are the owner of Walmart store. What would you need? You are the business owner. You are the CEO of company.
Payroll, HR.
Payroll, HR. Perfect. What's next?
Like IT stuff.
IT staff.
Managing team.
Inventory management.
What was that?
Inventory management.
Inventory management. Okay. Inventory management. What's next?
Loss prevention.
Next. You guys are on the right path.
Need an accounting team. Or an accountant.
Planning team for
Accountant. To manage the funds.
we need accountant.
I guess I'll need a strategic plan as to, based on the funds I have, how much revenue I want to make,
Legal.
in which direction I want this to go, so all that sort of stuff.
And who your customer base is.
Finally, someone said the one thing we need customer. Customer base. Okay. What's next?
We need to look for vendors.
Also understand who our competitors are.
Awesome. Anything else that you guys want to add?
Find the cheapest mode of shipping goods to customers.
So that is, if we are into e-commerce business, then we will need something for shipping and delivery.
Yeah.
If you're-
Walmart does shipping actually.
Yes, Walmart does shipping, and I'm trying to find out if there's a generic term for that. I'm trying to-
Logistics. Logistics.
Logistics is a good word. Yes, logistics.
Mm.
What else?
Business license.
What was that, Shaja?
Business license, like the legal license.
Licenses and
Tech,
permissions and license permits. Permits is what you call,
yeah,
right?
permit, yes. Yes.
Okay. What else? Spacebar is not working in my laptop, guys. So give me 1 minute. Okay. So I think this is a good exercise. Do you guys think that if it is not Walmart, but if it is something else now, let's say for just for sake right now, right, that you own Amazon, you are Jeff Bezos. Do you feel you would need anything other than what you've written here? Right? That's what you need, right? To start any business, this is all you need, right? So business is made up of three things: people, process, and technology. At a high level, these are three things we need, right? We need people, we need process, and we need technology. So BA role, as we said, BA role falls here under technology. People and process. This is everything that you've covered here, other than IT staff member. Everything that you've covered here would be part of people and process. And if you want to add one more, you can say people, process, product, and technology, right? For every single option that we have written here, do you feel we will need some kind of tool to manage these needs? We'll need some kind of IT tool, right? We'll need some kind of technology to manage this, correct? Walmart is not going to manage all those things manually. They're going to manage these things automatically. They need some IT tool, correct? The biggest thing that we have forgotten here is payments and refunds, right? Payments is another aspect of it. So products and services can cover everything that we are offering, like self-service checkout, or like you have cashiers at the checkout center, or you have all the goods that you are selling as a Walmart, right? Everything is part of that. I'm just giving you a very generic example so that we can, when we start our project for mobile application, you'll be able to follow what we're doing in that. So over here, when you want to get into IT, when you want to create a software, these are the exact same things you would need. Why? Because when you're creating a software, you're not creating a software just for sake. You're creating a business, right? And when you create a business, you need someone who is going to manage your funds. You need someone who's going to manage your account. You need someone who is going to look at the loss prevention. You need someone who's going to manage inventory. What is inventory in our case? Requirements, right? We need someone who can manage customer service, who can manage marketing, who can manage products, who can manage companies' real estate, who can manage companies' employees. For every single thing here, equipment is nothing but laptop, iPad, desktop, phones, and all those things, right? For every single thing that is listed here, we need tools and technologies for that. Okay, so from this, if I want to find out tools that will be required to serve our customers, like to serve Walmart customers, what are those tools from this 20? I'm trying to narrow down my focus now. So we were talking about everything. Now we're going to talk about only a specific scenario. I want to talk about all the things that are applicable from here only for our customers. Like customer comes into the Walmart, or customer knows about the Walmart, comes to the Walmart, buys stuff, and checks out. In that process, who all is involved from this?
Product, services, payments.
So
Payments.
Employees.
Let me highlight this, please. So you have
Customer services?
Inventory management.
inventory management. Okay. Someone said payments. Okay. What's next?
Employees.
Logistics.
Logistics.
Equipments like POS,
Equipments like?
like the checkout POS, like the
Oh,
device.
checkout. Yeah. Oh, you mean the self-checkout kiosk, right? self-checkout kiosk. That's another one. Okay, equipment.
I think equipment or employee.
Obviously, space and employees.
Yes, definitely we will need that space and employees. What's next? Nothing else. I think this probably does. But what was that? Did I miss a point, Raven? You were saying something?
No,
Permit and licenses, I would say another one that we would need just to make sure that we are compliant and we are offering them something which we should be, right? So if I use this and put it here, and if I use this inventory management, I feel inventory management may not be a customer need, maybe a business need more.
Business. Yeah.
Do you guys feel that way?
Yes.
The reason is you need to manage inventory to make sure that customers get things on time. But as a customer, you don't really care how you do it. When you walk into the store, you just need that, right? If Walmart says that they do not have inventory management system, would you stop going to Walmart? You would not, right? That's the way to think about it. So when we don't have something as a customer, would you not buy something from Walmart, or would you stop going to Walmart? If you want to go to the Walmart, what are absolutely required things for you? Do we feel we have a good list here? Do we feel we have a good list here?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about what kind of tools are required to serve these needs of our customer. Okay, so we have identified things that we should be offering as a company to our customers. Now we want to identify tools and technology being required just based on your general knowledge, right? What kind of things are required to manage these services or manage this list for our customers? To manage logistics, what would you need? This logistics was
Shipping,
right?
shipping services.
database.
Delivery.
Database is kind of very generic. I'm talking about technology. Database is not a technology. And guys, feel free to chime in whatever you want to say here, because I really want to assess your knowledge, and then I'll be able to tailor this class even better for my future classes. So I don't mind if you guys are doing mistake. Database is not the option. What's next? I'm talking about tools and technology, something that you can see. Which tools you have seen? To manage logistics, what would you need? Do you need mobile application?
Some kind of software.
I mean,
Yeah. From customer standpoint, I'm talking about. I'm not talking from the business standpoint. As a customer, what would you need? Would you need a mobile application to get the notifications, to get the delivery?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. A tracking app that can give us an approximation. When are we receiving?
Mobile applications for shipping and delivery convenience. What else would you need? Permits and licenses. This is, again, to be honest,
This is, I mean, this is more for
legal.
the league. I mean, the above part, not for the customers.
It's not for the customer part. As a customer, you do care, but if you see, when you walk into the Walmart, there is always a poster that, hey, we are 100% compliant with COVID and all those big things, right? Do we ever read that? We don't.
No.
But if you ask me as a customer, do we need to know that? Yes, but nobody pays attention to that. It's more like terms and conditions. So I don't feel this is required. Okay. What's next? Payments and refunds. Absolutely, we needed this. What kind of tools are required for this? Payment machine, payment process.
Business system, template.
Stazia, can you please speak a little louder? What was that?
Yes, is this the system they use, like their own system, business system?
Payment systems, receipt. Same applies for refund as well, right? Same for refund. Refund
Yeah.
and cancellation. Okay. What's next? Equipments. We talked about self-checkout, kiosk. We need one more thing. If you guys remember, whenever we are searching for any products, it would be good to have product search options and product search and price options. Like if you go to Macy's, you can pick any product in your hand, and you don't have to go to someone to ask to the price, right? You get the price on your own. You need self-checkout kiosk, product search and price option. Okay. What else you need? Employees.
Right.
Yes, you need someone. So there is a system for employees that they're using, right? When you go for checkout, they're using one system that is called point of sale. Point of sale system. Am I right?
Yes.
Space or real estate, of course, we need this. But again, this is
more for the other part. That's what I
Yes.
feel.
this is more for the problem, right? And you guys can challenge me if you feel the other way around. You guys can challenge me. You don't always need space or real estate to buy your products. You're buying everything from Amazon. They do not have any space or real estate for you. You're still able to buy from them, right? Which brings up an important point. What do we need here? Walmart's website. Correct? Online store.
Mhm.
Products or services.
I have a question
Go ahead.
on the equipment. Not on the equipment. I'm sorry. On the employees. I mean, why is it on the other side? Like, why is it on this side? I understand that we need employees to check us out, but the payroll of the employees, the training and everything comes from the other part. I mean, the Walmart.
So we've not covered the payroll and all, HR, payroll, this is all above, right? If
Yeah, but
you go to a Walmart and let's say there is 0 employee,
Mhm.
it's going to affect their business.
Yeah.
If there is no one to answer your question, if you're stuck on something, right, it is going to affect your business. So we need some employees there, may not a lot, but maybe we need some employees there, and they should have their own systems to assist us.
But shouldn't employees be in both the parts then?
So when we say payroll and HR here, we can add here if you want to.
I mean, they do assist us, but the training and everything.
Yep, employees management. I'm
Yeah.
just putting that as there. So this is more for employees to assist our customers. Online store, products or services. We absolutely need this, right? And this could be part of your mobile application, could be part of your online store, could be part of your self-checkout or kiosk.
Mhm.
So this product services is included in number 16, included in number 16, number 17, 18, 19, and 20. All of them would require products or services. Marketing team, what kind of tools they would require?
Advertising, online marketers.
Online, but where would you market, right? You need some tools for that.
Google. Would Google work? Like if you have a team working on Google?
Google Ads.
Sending
SEO,
promotion emails or alerts
SEO
to the
optimization.
members, I mean, or to the
Yes.
customers' accounts.
Alerts, SEO. And what was about the customer you said?
Yeah, I was just saying that, yeah, they'll send email or alerts or any kind of promotions that they're offering to the members or
Promotions
customers, yeah, who have
Promotions management.
accounts.
Getting in touch with third-party companies for coupons and stuff like Honey and all that.
Coupons, third party, products management, or servicing, third party products, advertising. What's next?
Social media marketing.
Social media marketing, of course, that's the big one. I think we can pause here, that's fine. Customer service.
User-friendly app.
Okay, can you repeat that, please?
User-friendly app, like user-friendly, easy to access to different products without any trouble.
Consultation is what we can say.
Yeah.
Consultation. You
Yeah,
need
where you can
lines.
like chat with somebody through your phone or website
Yes, you need phone lines. You need on website. How would you chat with someone?
through a mobile app
Through mobile app, but you need something,
or
right?
computer.
Chat. You need
Oh
chat,
yeah,
Chat.
yeah.
chat feature. Then you need emails, communication. You need phone lines, chat feature, emails, communication. Uh, what else for customer service? Customer service department
Yeah, in person.
and tools to manage the department. See, the moment you realize that you can't return things at Walmart really easily, right? Walmart's business is going to go down. People choose Walmart for a reason, right? They know that they can walk in and walk out anytime, and they can return products anytime whenever they want. Or if they, or we know that whenever we have any question, there is a customer service team who's going to help us. If I'm going to buy something from the local street person, that person is not going to give me this customer service. But Walmart as a whole, they offer all these services to us, right? Am I right?
Right.
So customer service is a very essential part to make your business successful. Just imagine, why do you go to Uber? Because of their customer service. Convenience is part of the customer service, right? You click on a button and there is a ride at your door waiting for you. If something goes wrong in that ride, you can always talk to Uber's customer service team and they'll help you resolve that issue. You trust that, right? That's a brand created. Why? Because there is a customer service element within that. If you don't have this customer service element, your business is not going to fly. And to provide this good customer service, you will need all these things or even more than that, right? Some of these things could be arguable here. Hey, why are we doing it this way? Why are we not doing it another way? It's completely fine to have those questions in our head right now. This is more to give you an idea what is required to build a software. Now let's just replace Walmart with our software company. Do you feel we will still need all these elements here?
Yes.
Let me give you an example of Facebook. Okay. For Facebook, you need mobile application. What do they ship and deliver? They ship the messages. They deliver the messages, right? For you. They deliver your post to your friend. It's all convenience on a tap of a button. So they need a mobile application. Payments and refunds. On Facebook, you are not doing any transactions per se from the payment perspective unless you're advertising something on Facebook, right? But there is a transaction that you are doing. You can upload photos. You can do a lot more things, right? There's some kind of transaction that is happening. Transaction could be money wise or could be information wise. So we are doing a lot of transaction. We are exchanging a lot of information back and forth. That's what I could call.
Yes, Facebook makes a lot of money.
Which was that?
I know Facebook makes a lot of money because if you try to open up a business page, they actually charge you for posting anything on Facebook.
They definitely have payments and refunds management for the advertising purpose, right?
Right.
We all need. So over here, equipment is, when we say equipment, what it is usually related to the like warehouses, like or the manufacturing companies. But in IT also we have equipments, right? For me, equipment is when I log into Facebook, I can self-serve my privacy settings on my phone. I don't have to go to Facebook to tell them, hey, change my privacy notification, and I just want this type of privacy notifications. I don't do that, right? I have self-serving abilities. I can upload my own photos. I don't have to go to Facebook for that. I can search for my friends on my own. I can search for the advertisement on my own. Whatever I want, I can find everything on my own. That is equipment for Facebook is you need phone and self-serving abilities where you don't have to rely on anyone. Is it a fair assumption? I'm just trying to give you an example related to the actual IT world so that you understand how the IT world works, right? Next is point of sale systems. This may not be as much applicable for Facebook as much as for Walmart. So I think we can probably say 50-50 here. Online store, online website, they definitely need. Otherwise, Facebook will not survive. Or we will not survive. That's the better way to say. So the next one is products or services. When we say products or services, that products or services are what? They're offering you a platform for exchanging your own information and looking at someone else's information. That's the product, right? They allow you to connect with people. Their product is to connect with you people, right? Marketing. Their entire business is based on marketing. We can't even imagine how many tools they would have on marketing, right? Customer service, an integral part again. If you say that your account is hacked and if you don't have a person who is going to help you from Facebook, you are gone, right? You will not be doing business with Facebook anymore. So all these things that you see here, any software company that you are running, right? At a minimum, I'm saying at a minimum, not like this is all you need. This is the minimum tools. These are the minimum tools that you would need to run a business. Do you think Facebook has coded every single tool that we have talked about here on their own? When you go to Walmart, do you think Walmart owns every single tools that we are using here?
No.
No.
They have a vendor for payment gateway,
Yeah.
vendor for managing their loss preventions, right? There will be vendors available. There will be vendors who can manage their permits and licenses. There will be vendors who will be managing their real estate space, right? So vendors are an integral part of building your business, vendors and vendor products. So when you build a software, and now let me convert this entire thing into our Uber application, okay? So when you want to build an Uber application for cab, I'm talking about the cab right now, okay? Let's consider Uber or taxi. So I'll convert this into logistics. I need mobile application for requesting and canceling my rides. Am I right? Payments and refunds. I need this definitely. Equipments over here. I would need equipments. I just need a phone. Phone and I've covered the mobile application above. So I think self-serving abilities, phone and some self-serving options, which could be cancel my ride. I lost my belongings. I don't like my driver. Rate a driver. These are the self-serving options provided to you. You can do all those things on your own without talking to Uber. Okay. Employees to assist our customers. These are all drivers. For drivers, what do we need? Another mobile application. So we don't need point of sale system here. What we need is driver's mobile application. Am I right? Online store, of course, we need Uber's website. Products or services, they offer rides and Uber Eats. Marketing, integral part of this. Over here, what do you need? I think you guys already called out this. You need to manage Google Ads, you need to manage emails or alerts, SEO, promotion. You know that there are tools that we have to use for every single thing that you mentioned here. Every single thing that you mentioned here, there are tools for that. And every company has to use that. Nobody can build this from the scratch. There is an option where you also have to give feedback mechanism. I can probably put it in the customer service. If you guys remember, whenever you go on any site, there is a small box at the corner somewhere on the page which says feedback. The moment you click on it, it will ask you what did you not like about the website or what did you like about the site. When you go to Taco Bell, it will give you a receipt. Behind the receipt, there will be a link. If you open that link, it will tell you, you can take a survey here and tell us what can we do better, right? Feedback mechanism is a really important tool. If you don't have this integrated, you will never understand what is going wrong with your customers, and you will never able to improvise on it, right? So Walmart, 50 years before and now, they are completely different business. Amazon, 20 years before and now, they're completely different business. Why? Because they have this feedback mechanism enabled. Every year, company does things differently now than what they used to do before. So this is a really important tool. So I can give you a list of tools after this class for every single thing here that we have listed here. So our goal is, so now this is how it works in the company, right? The reason I've taken this exercise is because before we start the mobile application project, I want you all to be aware that just coding the pages does not mean that your mobile application is ready to go live. There is a whole lot of things that we have to cover before we launch any product, right? This is the part of that. What is this? This is user's journey. What have I covered here? User journey. What do I mean by user journey? So my journey is, I think I've given you this glimpse of it. Step 1, customer wants to buy grocery for himself or a family. Okay. Customer identifies that Walmart offers this. Walmart has a grocery store and it's pretty renowned. This is brand awareness. Okay. Third step, what is happening? I'm not talking in IT terms. If you see, I'm not talking in IT terms because as a BA and PO, we first have to understand customers' mindset. We don't have to go into IT or database and code and network and all those things. We'll not even talk about it. Okay, that reminds me one big thing that we missed here: internet connection.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need internet for everything.
Yeah. I would assume though it will be part of logistics. If we assume this is part of logistics, then logistics has to be part of this list. That customer needs that, right? Internet connection is important. And again, these are the minimum things that we need. Okay. So third is customer decides to purchase grocery from Walmart, or customer not decides, but customer wants to explore the options to purchase grocery from Walmart. Customer looks at all product offerings and checks the pricing and refund policies. I'm just making up something here, okay? Customer really liked the product offered by Walmart. Customer decides to buy the products. Customer goes to the checkout counter. Make a payment. Customer gets the receipt. Customer made payment successfully. Customer has received the receipt. Customer walks out of the store. Customer realizes that he did not need a certain product that he bought. Customer walks into Walmart again and speaks with customer service. Customer is able to return the product, return or exchange the product. Customer got the refund. Customer is ecstatic with the services provided, customer becomes loyal to Walmart. Okay, does this make sense? Can I say this is a customer journey?
Yes.
So there are, if you realize, there are key points here. What are the key points here? Key points are, and again, you can just replace Walmart here with Uber, taxi ride, or whatever. You just need to replace the company name here. But everything else is going to remain the same, right? Instead of buying grocery, you need to request for a ride, and that's it. So there are 6 or 7 elements that we are talking about here. The first is the need. Customer has a need, followed by research. Customer does a research, company research. Am I right? Once customer researches about the company, then customer explores the site. Once customer explores the site, customer wants to, I could say, need, consumers need, consumer researches about the company, consumer explores the site. Can someone tell me why am I saying consumer here?
The same thing as the customer, right? Consumer.
So he's not the customer yet. Consumer decides to buy something. Consumer converted to a customer. Customer provides repeat business. Okay. So any software that you're building, right, for anyone, whether it's an airline industry, whether it's in healthcare, or whether it's a mortgage or it's personal lending, it doesn't matter. This is your journey. Customer's journey is not going to change. What you buy and how you do these things can change. But the basic customer journey, basic aspects of business would not change at all. Am I right? If you are a business owner, let's say you own a restaurant, what do you want? To fulfill customers' need, customer finds you, customer comes to your site, you give them the food, customer, that consumer is converted to your loyal customer now, and that customer is going to give you repeat business. Done, right? If you're into food industry, if you're into e-commerce business, do you feel that you need the same thing? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
To airlines industry, is it the same thing?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes, and
go ahead.
yes, and be able to provide whatever they need according to competitors.
Yes, and again, so all I'm saying here is when you explore the site, right, when you decide to buy something, you have done that competitive research. Over here also, customer research is about the company, right? Which means you are going to find the competition here. And if you like this company, then only you're going to move forward, correct? Whatever we are covering right now, this is all part of product owner job, not BA, guys. But you need to know this because we need to ask these questions to our product owner. As a BA, when we work with product owner, we need to ask these questions to him or her, okay? So can we say that for any business in the world, doesn't matter in which country, doesn't matter in like whether it's before pandemic or after pandemic, this is the basic need of a business, right? And this basic need is converted into this journey. So when someone asks you like how you start to build a product from scratch, right? This is how you build products from scratch. What do? We first create the business case, which we have covered in our last class. In business case, what do? We define problem statement, we define solution, and we define the key performance indicators, which is business success criteria. So if you scroll up here, this is what we discussed as part of our business case, right? Like in last class. So when we want to build an Uber application, we had a problem statement that we want to provide rides to customers on their fingertips, right? Which means they click on a button and they get a ride. That is the solution that we were offering. The problem is that we are not able to offer that ride right now. We have a long booking process. Customer has to call in. They have to be on the call for 45 minutes. And we take all the information. Then we send our driver. It takes about 2 hours time before customers can get the ride in real time. But we want to solve that by providing instantaneous ride request option to the customer. That's the solution we're going to offer. How we are going to offer, we don't know yet. It could be mobile application. It could be something else. We don't know. When we talk about solution, we talk about what customers will get benefit out of, as opposed to what kind of technology we are building. I'm not going to say, hey, we are going to put machine learning here. We are going to put a database. We are going to create mobile application. We are going to create a website. We are not going to talk about anything like that. All I'm going to say is that customer should be able to request for a ride like on a tap of a button. That's all I'm going to say. Why? Because that could be achieved through mobile application or through something else. Right? Mobile application is just one way to solve that. If you see from last, probably at least to my knowledge, from thousands of years, humans are trying to solve the exact same problem in so many different ways. Our basic necessity was food, traveling, and learning, right? In this 1,000 years, how we have evolved, we have solved the exact same problem differently. 20 years ago, when someone wanted to solve the problem for food and travel, they had solved it differently. But now when you see it's even done more differently than what it was before 20 years ago, right? So the same solution, so we just define what our customers want as opposed to what technology we are going to use to support this benefit for the product. Am I making sense? So when you start the new project, again, you talk about the problem statement, you talk about the solution, you talk about the key performance indicator. Along with this, you do a lot of, to prepare this business case, as we discussed, we said, we need to do a lot of customer research, market research, competitive analysis to really find out that what this software is going to do and why someone would even use this software first, right? And get the funding, secure the funding. So 4 steps before this, if I want to put it here, step one is to perform market research, customer research. What did I say? Perform market research, customer research, competitive analysis. Step 2, create business case. Step 3, secure funding. Step 4, kickstart the project. This is an interview question, guys. Hence, I want to make sure that you all follow this.
Do we actually have risk analysis in there too?
Sorry, do we have what? Which analysis?
Risk
analysis, yes, we do. We can also do SWOT analysis. Do you all know what is SWOT? We have studied this in our school. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So then you create project scope document. After you create project scope document, you talk about this is where you talk about the scope, right? After you define the scope, the next thing that you do is step 6. Step 6 is to create scope document. Buy versus build versus outsource. Outsource this project. Decide whether it will be, whether the project will follow waterfall or agile. Start gathering requirements. And I think after this, we have a standard process. I'll walk you through that. But these are the high-level steps. Is it making sense? When someone asks you in the interview, how do you start a new project? This is your framework. We have covered this question in our last class on Thursday for the interview practice, if you guys remember. So this is how things works in IT. Any questions on this so far? And there is a really detailed process after step 8, and we're going to talk about the waterfall and agile in a few minutes, and actually then start writing the requirements for our Uber application, Uber taxi ride application. But are you guys following until here?
Yes.
Yes.
Questions? So guys, any exercise that we do in the class, it will be really, really helpful for you to remember how things works. I'm trying to use some generic examples and then relate it to the actual IT world, because they're not very different, right? They're not very different. There is one big observation that I had coming to US. So back in India, or back in Pakistan as well, or any Asian countries, for a matter of fact, right? The way we grew up was very different. We had shops literally at every single corner of the building, right? You will find everything within like probably 1 kilometer of your house. Rarely you will have to step out of that 1 kilometer and find something. People were coming at your house and delivering things in India, at least I remember, like 30 years ago, not even right now. Like people just come and you just give them money and they will come and they will drop everything at your home, right? So that convenience, we had that convenience like in our country's gene because of the space restriction. We had so much less space that we cannot really afford to travel for the longer time, or at the same time we don't have houses which are like very far from each other, right? So because of that necessity, because of that restriction, the way the entire business was done or operated in India or any Asian country, right, was very different than the way things are operated in US. So we had seen this convenience without any technology. I still remember, I think back at least for my home country, I can say, I don't know, I've not been to other countries, but you guys can probably share your example as well. If I want some snacks or anything, every day at 6 in the evening or 6:30 in the evening, there will be a couple of guys who will come with the bhel puri, sev puri and all those things, or some dosas and all, or any kind of sandwich and all, right? Why? Because people know that at 6 p.m., everyone in this area will need to eat some snacks. So they were coming to you and delivering snacks in your hand, as opposed to you going to them, right? This, we did not realize that was such a big convenience that we had. And that same convenience we are trying to instigate in entire US right now by creating mobile application, because US is like widespread country, right? You cannot, even if you want to talk to your neighbor, you have to walk like 20 steps. And back in our home country, if you walk 20 steps, you'll probably go and hit some store. So this convenience is the biggest thing that is being driven in last 20 years. And we are trying to build so many mobile applications. All the technologies are changing to achieve only one thing, to offer convenience to our customers. Do you guys agree?
Yeah. Amazon Truck is doing the same thing.
Sorry?
Amazon Truck is doing the same thing.
Same thing, yes. Right? So what I'm trying to call out is, we are still trying to solve the exact same problems that we had so many years ago. And even from here, after like 1,000 years from now, we are still going to solve the exact same problems, because our basic needs does not change. As a human, we are lazy animals. We want to get more and more convenience. At least I can talk for myself. I'm a lazy animal, I know that. But yeah, so the way we are going to create these systems, there is a lot of empathy behind it, right? There's a human psychology behind this. If you don't understand that, we end up building wrong products. If you have like 100 applications on your phone, how many applications you're using right now? Probably 10 at the max, right? So although all the 100 business providers can assume that, hey, I have this customer downloaded my app, is he giving you a business? No. Then what is the use of him downloading an app? It's just an additional maintenance for you, It's like you are a landlord. You say that, hey, I have someone who can stay in my house, and that person is not paying you rent. Then what is the use to let him stay in the house, right? So downloading app is not solving the purpose. We need to create business, repeat customers. How can we keep customers engaged? This is the mindset that product owner has to have. And the way you can achieve that mindset is going through this customer's journey. You create this customer's journey, you understand what customers are looking for. I have not used a single line of technical language here. This is purely business and customers terminology. Am I right? I have not talked anything about technology here so far. And half of your project in your company, for half of your project, which is 6 months, if the project is for 1 year, for 6 months of your project time, you will never ever talk about the technology. Because technology is a medium to solve these needs. Our goal is to understand these needs first before even we use a technology. Otherwise, entire technology will be created in a way where nobody can use it and nobody is going to like it. Do you guys remember Orkut?
Yeah.
For Facebook, there was something called Orkut, O-R-K-U-T. Do you guys remember?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a long time ago.
I used it, but back in my era, when I was in 2005, 2006, I remember Orkut was the only player out there. So Orkut got like, I think in 3 or 4 years, they had to shut down their business. But they were doing the exact same thing that Facebook was doing. Why did they not get successful? Because they did not hear their customers. They built a product which to solve some need, but they could not improvise. This feedback mechanism that we talked about here, right, is so important that if you don't have this element, your businesses are going to ruin really, really bad. So if you talk about Sears, if you talk about, there was a shoe store, Payless, if I'm not wrong. There were 27,000 stores in US for that. Why did they have to close their entire franchisee? Why did they have to close 27,000 stores? Because they did not saw their customers' need. They did not know that the customers are changing the way they are doing transactions now. Nobody wants to go to the store. Even if they want to go to the store, it's different. Their expectations are very different now than what it was before, right? So if you don't change your business here, your company is going to get bankrupt, right? So as a product owner, our key focus, first and primary focus as a product owner, is to make sure we understand our customer's journey. Once we understand customer's journey, we'll find out for this entire journey what all kind of tools we need from technology perspective. And it is not on you. You will have a lot of people around you who can help you out to understand what tools are required. Once you find out those tools, now you need to know whether I want to build something like that, or I want to buy it from someone else, or I have to rent it, or I will probably hire some company I'll outsource the development work, and that person will build the entire work for me, like Cognizant, like TCS, Deloitte. They can do all this work for me, right? These are some key decisions that takes place before even a team is built to start working on this project. And if you are being hired for a project, which means that either you are going to work with that outsourced company to help them understand what you need, what your customers need, or you will help your own developers to understand what you are trying to build. It could be one of those two reasons because of which you are hired in the company. Does it make sense? Are we good so far?
I have 2 questions. One is you are explaining this in terms of how to look at this as a product owner.
Yes.
Which is really good because you need to understand, you need to have this kind of perspective even as a BA.
Yes, because you need to ask these questions. Hey, have you done your work before?
Yeah. So, and the other question I have is that this is like starting a project from scratch, but what if we are brought in midway, where the project is already, has started and we are brought in middle of the project. So how do we start from there?
Whenever you are hired as a BA, 99% you are in the middle of the project. When I say middle of the project, I mean middle of this steps that we talked about, right? You are probably at step 7. Let me go back. You'll be probably at step Where did I write them? Step 1, step 2. Okay. You'll be most likely in this step 7 or step 8. After this, there are 5 or 6 more steps that I'll walk you through, but I think you'll be probably in step 7 or step 8. This is where you guys will be hired on. So, but the moment you get hired, you must ask these questions. All these things, all those 5 steps above, these 5 steps above that you are seeing here, or the 6 steps, for a matter of fact, right? We need to ask these questions to those stakeholders, to that audience. We need to work with them, because if you can't get understanding on these 6 things, you will not be able to deliver steps after step 8 really better. Because
sorry, go ahead.
The reason is you need to understand all these things is because the moment you step in, all these people who have done this job, they will become inaccessible. Now it is your job to run the business. It's like they have given you handover. Hey, we have a business analyst, we have a product owner, and I have given you this information. Now you run the show.
Okay. So in your experience, when let's say we start from step 7, but then, and you are given the prior information of the business case and everything, but as a BA, you realize that you have to kind of modify and analyze everything and go back to scratch, starting the project from scratch. Is that how it happens if you see that there's an error in even defining the problem statement?
Yes.
Okay.
As I said, right, when you ask someone, just try this exercise. It's a very, very funny exercise. Go to one of your friends, ask him, hey, can you tell me one big problem that you're facing in your life right now? Or let's make it positive. Can you tell me one really good thing that has happened to you in your life? Talk to him next week, ask him the same question. All they will give you the exact same answer, his language will change. When you talk third week, he will again give the exact same answer, but the language is going to change. Right? But there is something happening. When he's not using consistent language, it's our job to find out what exactly he's trying to do. It's not his job, because he's just answering a question. We are the ones who have asked the question, right? It's our job to find out how would I make some sense out of this requirement. If someone is changing their mind over and over or using different language, how could I work with that person and really lock him that, hey, this is what you are saying. Am I right? It's more like a legal thing, right? When you're talking to an advocate, they will only talk in legal terms. They will not give you answer in yes or no, ever. Right?
Yeah.
So when these people, we write problem statement. If they say problem statement in 3 different ways, we write it in 3 different ways. And then we say, hey, this is what I understood. Which one is right from this? Am I making sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
So it does happen. So short story is that it does happen that when you start here, the scope that they have defined earlier can have some problems within that, because maybe there was a person who did not do a good job, or that person did not have enough time. So we can very well challenge this, but we have to be extremely polite, because it's our first job and of course first month in the office. So we have to be really polite with them. We cannot really go and tell people that, hey, you've not done your job or you've done a shitty job. We cannot go and tell them that, right? We have to be more cooperative and more curious to know how the process has worked so far, as opposed to fighting with people. And you will exactly see what I mean by this when you start your job. Like the moment you ask questions to people, if there are people who do not like them to being, if there is a stakeholder who does not like to being questioned, right? He or she would not be happy. And I can tell you one really horrible story of my life. I started a new project after working for 7 years in real time. I started a new project at one of the company, and first meeting I had in the morning at 9 a.m. with one of the product manager for that group. And I was a scrum master and a product owner back then, like probably 5 or 6 years from now, 5 or 6 years ago. So I just asked that person, hey, what are the challenges you are facing right now? And just let me know so I can help you resolve those challenges. Very, very friendly and very casual conversation. And that person said that, hey, we are not facing any challenges right now. It was very hard to digest, right? If you do not have any challenges, that in first place, you would not even need a scrum master. When a new team member has joined your team, it is because there is some gap. Why would you hire someone if you do not have a work for that person? Or you just want that person to be your puppet? Only two things, right? So I asked him, hey, there is no problem. That's really good. I think I'm really obliged to hear that there is nothing wrong with the process or anything else, or there is no challenges that you guys are facing. So I said, based on my experience, for the group like ours, right, these are a couple of things that we could look forward for in future if we have to. Right, I was giving some suggestions, and within that 1 hour, there was an escalation, 6 level above, up to chief, I think chief financial or chief risk officer in the company. And I was talking to a product manager. So above product manager, there was the product director, then you had VP, then you had SVP, then you had EVP, and then you had this chief risk officer. So up to 6 level high, there was an escalation within 1 hour after that meeting. And of course, I got fired from that job right on that day, and I was still wondering, I don't know what did I do wrong there, right? But this tells me that when I worked with that person was so rigid, that person did not want to change anything in the company. If you go with that mindset, that company is going to go in vain. And I was surprised that the 6 people who were above that person, they still listen to him. So I don't feel bad. I have a personality where I just go with a shot. I don't give a damn about anyone what someone thinks. So I was able to find the same project within the same company on next day because I was working through some consulting folks there. So they really liked my personality and all. And that same lady was in a meeting with me after 3 months for the another project. She was one of the stakeholder, and she got really shocked with the respect and the kind of things I was able to achieve in that project. Everyone was talking about me. So I was like, oh, wow. And I had a point to prove that, right? Without saying anything, that lady already knew what she did was wrong 3 months before. So the reason I wanted to share this story is because you might find yourself in the situation where your intentions are good. You're trying to do something good, but you still get a slap on your face. It's completely fine. Just know it's not you. It's someone else who is not trying to work with you. It's not you. There are times where you try to work out with people. Things will work out. Things may not work out. And it's completely fine. We are in a role where we make great enemies and we make great friends. So both the things come in with it because we deal mostly at this level, as I said before, right? We mostly deal at this level.
So in that situation, what's the best thing you can do? You just go with the flow, like whatever happens, happens, kind of.
So when you go with the flow, right, it's good for first 1 month or two, but after that, people will give you a feedback that, hey, that you are not challenging me. You might find a person who likes to get challenged. So it's what someone is looking for. So you really need to work with that person, understand the person's mindset, and then start the conversation. And it will not be easy, right? As I said before, working in IT is extremely easy. Doing work is extremely easy. Dealing with people is not easy. And I'll be working with you all, or we'll have our own team. Don't worry. But I just wanted to make you aware about the reality that there are times where even people who have so much experience, they will be not doing a good job, or they can get a slap on the face. But again, we don't have to worry about it. Right? So I think we can take a quick break, and I'll start the waterfall and the actual mobile application exercise that we started last week. There's a lot to cover in that today. I have created some user journeys for you, some process flows. I'll share them with you, and then we can go from there. Cool. Let's take a quick break for 5 minutes, and we can reconvene our discussion after that. Hey everyone, are you all back?
I'm back.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
Okay.
Any questions before I move forward into the next topic?
You will provide us this all this you have documented, right?
Yes. Mhm. So from next week
Okay.
onwards, we are going to start using Teams, not Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and I'll send you the link for that. And I'm going to create some groups for us where we can communicate with each other, and we can pose our questions in that group, and I'll be able to reply. And all these documents will be shared in that folder, so you will be able to see and use these folders, see the videos whenever you want. It'll be super easy for you. You can access everything from your mobile as well. So
Okay.
I will transition everything out there, but even before that, you'll be receiving emails with the videos for every class and the documents that we're covering in the class. So I had a case study, but before I jump into that case study, I'll and guys, I want you guys to really chill when we are having the classes. Don't take it too seriously. I think we need to take it as if we are like at our ease, we'll be able to understand things better. So don't get stressed out, or this is just I'm sharing some additional information with you all, and you will get complete support when you are at your office. So don't worry about
We were chill until you got fired.
that. Okay, but it can happen to anyone, right? It just even CEO of a company. You might have read some news that they have replaced the CEO. That also happens within 1 month of time, right? Even people at CEO level gets fired. People at presidential level gets fired. So we are no one, right? Okay.
And
So
there's a little bit of politics in every business, I think.
what was that, Abdul?
I said there's a little bit of politics in every business.
Every business, yes,
Uh,
every business. Mhm. Okay. So there was one more step that I forgot to attach here before step 7 and 8. I keep losing that step number. Okay, it's here. So over here, when you are deciding waterfall or agile methodology, build over here plus prioritization. I think it happens above this on here, step 5. And I'll talk about the priority scope. This is where we talk about the scope, right? And project scope document plus prioritization. It's an important aspect for a product owner, like what kind of things we need to prioritize first. We'll talk about them in detail. But I think for now, let's just get started with waterfall. Can you all still see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so there are several different ways we can develop software. When I say develop software development lifecycle is the way to create the software from scratch, right? Like when you are in construction business, if you want to build a building, or if you want to build houses, right? There could be different ways to do the same thing. Like every builder has its own process, correct? So every company has their own process as well to build the software. And but in reality, all those things have faded out now because of the way IT is operating. There are two key frameworks that is being used very, very widely these days. About 80% of the companies still use either of these two frameworks. One of them is waterfall, and second is agile. Even all the companies who are in waterfall, they are migrating from waterfall to agile now. They're trying to adopt the standards of agile. And there's the third one is called startup model. Startup model, I would not cover in the class. It's for someone who really wants to go into the startup route. And a lot of big companies are not able to support that pace. So we're just going to talk about two things, waterfall and agile in the class. If you want to learn about startup model, call me at some other time, or we can have just one session for our fun and we can talk about that. So Waterfall is one way. It's called phased approach. PHASED, phased approach. And in that, you have these are the phases: project initiation phase, planning, analysis, design, development, testing, and then finally implement that. So just remember the 6 words or 8 words: initial phase, planning phase, analysis, design, development, and testing, and then implementation. So I will be forwarding you this chart. In this each phase, these are the people with whom you are going to interact. As a BA or a PO, this is your role in that phase. Each phase lasts for about a month or a month and a half in the company at a minimum, just for your knowledge, if you're in waterfall. These are the deliverables you have from the, like deliverables as in, this is your role, you have to create these documents. As a BA or a PO, one of the major role that you have is to understand customers' need. Second is to create documents. And these are the tools that you could use to create these documents. And I recently found out a couple of more: Miro, Lucidchart, and apps.diagram. So, and we are going to cover this high-level process flow and business case. I think business case, we've already done that. High-level process flow, we're going to cover in a few minutes from now. Then we're going to talk about the project plan. We're going to talk about the scope. So this project charter, scope and vision document are the exact same things. It's just a different name, but the documents are very similar. Some companies call them project charter, some companies call them scope and vision document. And each of these documents will have problem definition or statement like we had in business case, right? So every company has it as their own jargons, but if you use these jargons, you're not going to disappoint anyone. This is very generic one and people will know what you mean by that, right? And this has your role. What do you assist someone with? So over here, initial phase is all about the feasibility, right? Feasibility as in, we do the market research, customer research, we do competitive analysis, we secure the funding, we create the business case to understand whether we can do all these things or not. So far, whatever we have done, we have just touched this phase. Okay, and this is common in both Agile and Waterfall. They both work the same way. You have to have this phase before you can do anything else in the entire project. So in this phase, as a BA and PO, what is your roles and responsibility? If you are hired or if you are within that company and they start a second project now, then you may have a chance where you will be helping them with this feasibility study. If you are not hired, then you will not even be part of this. But as I said, we need to ask for this documentation from them to get more idea what this project is about. Cool. We'll be working with, liaising with the management team, which is senior manager, VP, director, tech lead, business stakeholders, etc. So we'll go to the second phase today, which is the planning phase, where the project has secured funding. And now we are going to kickstart this project, which is the planning phase. In this planning phase, we have one major deliverable. If you want to apply for a Scrum Master role, then this is something that you will be having interest in. For a BA and a PO, we don't play a major role here, but we do assist them in identifying the right scope and identifying the risks. That is our main job here. So assist project manager for scope and vision document and perform stakeholder analysis. You might hear me saying this word a lot, stakeholder. It's nothing but team member. It's a fancy word of, instead of team member, I'm just going to say not just team member. Stakeholders could be anything. People who are directly or indirectly involved in your project, which is, you can have vendors, you can have developers, you can have business analyst, you can have product owner, you can have marketing team, you can have legal and compliance. So whatever list we created in this document, our class document before, this one, right? Payroll, HR, these are all different type of stakeholders. And which stakeholders from this will be applicable for us? We need to create that list. Okay, so before we start any project, we need to define the scope, define the priority, define scope, define priority, and perform stakeholder analysis, which is where you create RACI. And I'll cover this later in the class, in next week's class, create RACI matrix. stakeholder analysis. So again, this is for a very senior level BA role. We don't get into these things if we are applying as a junior or a mid to junior level BA. And our role is pretty simple. We help them define the problem statement, we help them define the scope, define the priority, and perform the stakeholder analysis. Third step here, the reason I'm saying it as phased approach is because you cannot start this phase in waterfall. You cannot start the next phase before this phase is complete. Okay, so it's a sequential approach. You can do only one thing at a time. So if we are doing project initial, if we're in the initial phase, we can only do the feasibility assessment. Once that's complete, only after that we will be starting the second step, which is the planning. And each step can take about a month and a half, as I said before, month and a half to 2 months sometimes. Your major role will start from here, this phase. This is where you will spend majority of your time, because this is the time where you're going to work on the requirements. What is the need of the software? What do we need to build? Once you define and once you write all this documentation, later half of the project from here, design. So this is step 7 or step 8 that I was talking about, right? You'll be hired here, step 8. This is step 8. This is above that you see here, this is step 7. So you'll be either hired here or here, step 7 or step 8. After this, step 8, you have design. Design could be someone who is going to create. If you guys remember, in last class, we covered 3 different types of designs: wireframes, mockups, and high fidelity designs. If you guys remember, right? For the mockups that we were looking at. So high fidelity designs will be part of this phase. This is the phase where developers will create the blueprint of the entire software. Do you guys understand this word, blueprint? You all have seen this for construction companies. They create the floor plans, right? When they create the floor plans and they have to create the architecture for the entire building. This is how we are going to build things. This is the first thing. This is the second thing. This is the third thing, right? Some construction architecture is going to define those things. So there is a technical person who is going to define those requirements for you based on your needs. So once you create your documents here, that information is sent to your technical lead and to your designer, UX designer, user experience designer. They will create the designs, they will create the technical architecture, they will create technical documents. If they have questions, they'll work with you to get them answered. And that's about it. So after this phase, you mostly support in clarifying questions and informing team about what they're working on. You'll talk about the exact same thing. If you've created this document here, which is BRD and FRD, you'll review this BRD and FRD like 50 times, 50 times with different stakeholders from here. Once with legal team, once with marketing team, once with your company's HR team, then once with your technical team, once with your development team, once with your quality analysis team, once with your customer service team. You'll just give the exact same presentation like 20 times. So most of your time that you're going to spend after the analysis phase is mostly in collaborating with people and bringing them up to the speed what we are developing. And this is the main reason that people who have worked above this are not going to be accessible anymore, because you are the one who's running the show. Is it making sense now? So isn't it easy? Repetitive job, right? I've written one BRD because I've created my own BRD. Now I exactly know what is there in the business requirement document. If you write a book, you know what you've written in the book, right? You have to share that information with several other people in the company now so that they can do their work after your work is complete. So their work is starting only after you have created these documents, BRD or FRD. If you have not created these documents, they cannot start their work. That's the handoff. Okay. So in design phase, we just work with this audience, and I'll forward this document so that you can read this, right? And they will create some technical documents here. My job here is to assist them in a design solution, provide clarifications. This is the time, Revant, where you start talking about database. you mentioned something about database, right? This is the time when you will start talking about that. But again, we are not the ones who are going to talk about database. They will just ask us that, hey, what saved here? So we need to tell them, I need to save all the payment information. I need to save all the customers information, right? I need to save all the marketing campaigns information, something on those lines, and that's it. And they will take care of it from there. So we talk in business terms, in the requirements, like the customer's perspective. We talk in customer's perspective. They translate that customer's perspective into technology and how it's going to be built from our side. So there is a handoff. Now that, so as I said in our last class, right, our job is to create a beautiful car without engine. So now when someone wants to build the engine, right, now we have to talk together. How? That whenever the engine is turned on, all the lights in the car will turn on at the same moment, right? Whenever someone gives accelerator, when engine goes above 60 km/h, the dashboard on the speedometer that we have in the car should deflect accordingly. So now you see there is a requirement that you guys have to work on together. So you will tell what customer should see, and they will build technology accordingly. Am I making sense? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Same thing. If you're building a house, now you're going to talk to someone who are literally going to put bricks, right? So you want to make sure that you tell them, hey, this is how I want to make sure the house looks like. If you do anything wrong here, you should know that we have to rip off the entire wall and build it again. It's an additional work, right? So you will always talk from the customer's perspective. As a customer, I want this. How you build it, it's your concern. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. And there are some discussions that we need to have from technical team, there are some jargons that we need to know. We'll be covering those in our future classes, but that is the only amount of knowledge you are required. I think I've been in IT for about 12 years. I've never had any more discussions than what I'm going to share with you all in next few classes from technical perspective. Most of my time goes in this customers path, what customers are looking for, how to create this BRD and FRD quickly, collaborate with so many stakeholders, because you, at a minimum, you deal with 15 to 20 different departments within the company. When you roll out one software, you deal with 15 to 20 different departments within the same company, which should not be surprising. If you look at here, we had how many? 24 departments right here, correct? Which is the usual scenario. So you will give the exact same presentation 20 different times. It's good to give presentation 20 different times as opposed to bringing them all in one meeting and do it in one meeting. Why? Because it will create a chaos. It will create complete destruction in the meeting. Why? So just imagine you have a person who is from HR and there is a person who is managing inventory. Do you think their needs and their vision is same? They will talk differently, right? They have different needs, they have different challenges. So when you talk to inventory management, they'll talk about one thing. When you talk to HR, they'll talk about the second thing. So if you have 20 people in the same meeting, there will be 20 different questions, and no one has to do anything with those questions other than the person who has asked it, right? So you're wasting everyone's time. Meeting will be not very relevant. So you need to have this focused session, which each of this individual department and go through your BRD and project scope document that you've created. And you'll become an expert. Even if someone like wakes you up from your sleep in the morning, you'll exactly remember on what page what you have. Because you've created this document on your own and you've given this you walk through this document so many times that you just remember this on your fingertip. You will never forget it throughout your life, right? So let's go back. So this is the design phase. After you create this document, you work with technical developers and the user interface designer, UX or UI is what they call, and they create the actual designs and they go from there. Then the coding starts. So if you see, if this project is going to take 1 year from project initial phase until implementation, it can take about 18 months. From this 18-month, development is like so minimum. After all this is done, there is a development step. And this will be only for a couple of months. That's it. They do their work, then testing team is going to test it for 2 months. And in this 2 months, there will be bugs. They will pass it back to development team. They will fix it. They will retest it. They will again raise some bugs. They will fix it and they will retest it. This cycle just goes on and on for 2 months, right? So development work is only for 2 to 3 months. Testing work is only for 2 to 3 months. But as a BA, you are involved from analysis or initial phase on the top. After this, you keep an eye. What is the end product here? Is it meeting my customer's need or not? When the developer is writing a code and tells testing team that it is ready, you keep an eye. Hey, what they have built, let me check. In testing phase, you manage the quality. You tell them as a customer the product is satisfied or not. When you walk into the house, if builder has not made your house as per your expectation, would you accept that? You would not, right? You will tell them, hey, we did not agree to this. Why did you build it this way? So there will be again so many changes. That change could be a small one, that change could be a big one. One of my friend, when he walked into the house, he saw that one of the wall was little inclined by an inch, like this. It was not very evident, but he found out that. So they had to literally rip off the entire wall of the house, which was like 24 feet long. And then they have to recreate that. And in doing that, they actually touched house columns, and the house structure got changed because of that. Such a heavy cost, right? Why? Because someone did not do their job right. In between development and testing, the transition did not go well. Someone built something wrong, and we found out just after someone walked into that house. So as a BA or a PO, you heavily involve yourself in this phase. And this phase, every day you check the status. Hey, what are you doing? Where are we right now? Do you have any open questions? These 3 questions you will ask every single day in the morning. What are you doing? Is there any question for me? Is something blocking you? And you will keep doing that over and over. Every day you'll find a new bug, new challenge, and there's a new way to solve that. But you'll probably spend your time mostly in this. And this is the reason I'm saying it's a leadership role, because you are guiding them. You are telling them, although they're not reporting to you, you are telling them what to build and what not to build. You are the one who's giving them approval. This looks good to me. It can go to the production now. Right? And after everything works well, in the implementation phase is the phase where we actually pull the trigger and launch the product where customers can start using this. So this is the waterfall cycle. This is how it works. And we are going to cover this project right now with the help of a mobile application project. But any questions here? Today and tomorrow, we are going to focus heavily on business requirements document. And next week, we're going to focus on agile and user stories.
Basically, this is a SDLC documented, not in the diagram.
This is the document which I missed the last
This
part.
is the SDLC in a document form.
Your voice is breaking.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, so my point is like, what you have actually showed a document which is more like a SDLC in a document form, not in the diagram form.
That's correct. This is the step. This is a step-by-step phase. This is a phased approach. And in each document, what we're going to create, like BRD, what is project charter, I'm going to show that to you in a minute from now, once we start the new project.
Okay.
But this is the base foundation, right? This is all you need to know. And this is an interview question. Hey, if you worked in waterfall, what was your role before? So what was your role? Your role is this. This is your interview answer. What kind of documents you've created before? This is your answer. What kind of tools you have used before? This is your answer.
Okay.
Right? What kind of audiences you had in your meeting? This is your answer. So this matrix itself covers like 4 or 5 different answers for you from the interview. And you will not find this.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
My question is, when we talk about the consumer and the customers, as a BA role or a PO role, your consumer and your customers are more like your stakeholders?
Yes, they are. They are the ultimate CEO of the company.
Okay.
Yep. Your customers and your consumers are one of the biggest stakeholders of your project because they are going to be impacted by this. Anyone who's going to be impacted by your stakeholder, by your project are all stakeholders. So customers are going to be impacted after you've launched the product, not until then. Cool.
Are we also discussing the SDLC in detail or?
So we are going to cover, you do not have to go into any more details, any more theory than this. What we need to do is, as part of this SDLC, what kind of documents we need to create. We need to get into the depth of these things. If you know what we write in this document, you will automatically know everything about the SDLC. But from the interview perspective and from your knowledge perspective, you do not have to know anything more than this. This is more than enough for you to go and start the project.
Okay.
Cool.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
In the SDLC, BA role is after the evolution of the product, right? The role is to create the requirements, right? So to BRD basically.
Mm-hmm.
So your role is there, but after your role, design, development, testing is not you, right?
It's not us, but at the same time, I'll be monitoring that activity very, very closely every single day. What someone is working on, how they're working on. Because what happens is when you don't speak, they build something. It's like you have hired a carpenter at your home for building the furniture, right? And can you tell them that, hey, I need these things, and I'll come back after 3 months. I want everything ready.
No.
You cannot, right? Why? Because whatever you have said, you don't know if they are going to make it the same way or not. So you will every day you are with them and seeing that, hey, are they making it right or not? They are not slogging, right? They're not just being lazy, not working at the time, right? You'll monitor their work.
Right. So basically, you monitor the work and you make sure that everything is going in time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's correct.
That's where the time management comes, right? Okay.
Yep. Guys, give me 1 minute. My son poked in my eyes and I'm having some irritations there. Give me 1 minute. I'll be back in a minute. Hey, you there?
Jinkle, I'm gonna light up the mood over here. Are you sure it was your son?
Yes.
I'm just
Today morning, I think he was playing with me and he just put his finger in my eyes.
okay.
So right before the class. But okay, let's get started. So let me, so Shrey, to answer your question one more time, when someone asks you in the interview that, hey, explain me software development lifecycle, nobody wants to know what is software development lifecycle. The actual question is, hey, what was your role in that? Because we don't have to go back into the theory, into the books and tell them, hey, this is how waterfall works, right? Our goal is to make them understand what was our role, because what was your role in that company may not be the same role in the company that you're going to work for now. They all work differently, right? But so the way, that's why this is more important. When you work with them, when you tell them waterfall, this is what you need to tell them. This is how I was working in this phase, and this was my deliverable. This is how I was working in second phase, and this is what my deliverables were. When someone asks you, tell me about yourself, this is the way you can structure your answer. And literally everything that you see here, you have to answer these things in your tell me about yourself. This is your tell me about yourself answer. So they may not ask you directly, but I could still say, just giving you an example, right? We have an interview practice again this Thursday. I'll be covering this there as well, just so that you know. So the way when someone asks me, tell me about yourself, I tell them, hey, I have so many years of business analysis experience, and I worked in this domain. My core role was to assess the feasibility whenever a new project starts. Like when I was working for this company, this is the project we were working on. I was helping them with the feasibility study, and by creating business cases, by creating high-level business flows. Once that was taken care of, I was working with my project manager to create scope and vision document, performing stakeholder analysis, defining the priority, defining the scope for the project I was working on. After that, I worked very heavily with the subject matter experts and tech lead to create the business requirement document, functional requirement document, to create use cases, to create wireframes, to create mockups, to create streamline diagrams. And we're going to cover all this in the class, so don't worry. So, and getting sign-offs on all those documents. So I was really involved in the analysis phase to a level where I drove the entire project on my own. And once that was taken care of, I was working with my designers and technical lead to create the architecture for the entire software and making sure that the front-end designs have been created for that. And then monitoring project really closely when it's in development and testing phase to make sure that things have been built per our expectation, being involved in the user acceptance testing, being involved in prioritizing defects that come through, clarifying the questions and whatnot. And at the end, everything works out well. Was planning, we'll work with my release manager to plan the entire release out and just keep monitoring the project success after that. So this is tell me about yourself. So if you see, I've not said anything different than what I have written it here.
What about if they ask like a random question, like what was your challenge and what was your, like I've been asked that, what did you do to make it better?
I missed the last part. What was your challenge and what was another thing?
Challenge. What was a challenging thing and what was your best part? Like, what did you do to make it better?
Yeah, we are going to cover those exclusive questions on our Thursday's call, Shrey. And if you want, I can connect with you offline if you are already having something scheduled, and I can work with you on that.
Okay,
cool, but we do have stories around it. When we create these mobile application projects, mobile application, digital mortgage, and digital marketing, I'm going to cover those stories. What are the challenges we had in this project, and how did we solve that? We're going to cover that element there. But cool. So I think this chart is extremely important for you all. So please try to, the moment I'll send this, please read through this and read through this at least every day for next 1 or 2 weeks until you really remember what you have in each phase here as a BA and a PO that your responsibility is. Don't mug up, but I think if you just read it once every day or twice every day, you'll automatically remember what you have in this. Okay. So with that being said, let's go back to our actual mobile application project. Let's try to find a document. Give me 1 minute. So I had an interesting case study. I think I can probably copy it here for you all as well. So this is for the mobile application for Bank of America. Okay. So this is how thing works in the company. So one more time, I'll just quickly run through some basic things that we have already discussed, just to give you a perspective to this. We are actually going to cover mobile application project in class for Uber taxi ride, but this is just another flavor for your knowledge, right? So before you build any product, as I said, we want to come up with the list of challenges that customers are facing. So I'm talking about list of problems for checking or savings account right now. And you may be able to relate to this because each one of us has either of these accounts, right? So there's a login issue, there is a security issue, there is a feedback resolution. Let's not worry about it for now. It's less convenient, traveled. So the thing that we are trying to do here is that we define daily visitors, 5 million hire new 50,000 employees, 1 million customers, self-serve customers. I'm trying to recall what was this use case about. Find daily visitors in each branch. So we are over here. The goal was to not have customers come to the bank branch for their daily transactions. Okay, so we are going to that is the main challenge that we are trying to solve for. And under that, these are the things that we have. There will be a security issue. There will be a login issue, right? We want to make sure that customer is really who they are. There is a security issue. It's less convenient right now because there is always a travel time involved, banking hours restriction. I cannot do transactions after hours if the banks are closed. There's a lot of paperwork involved. Depositing check is painful. Manual work, teller solving problems manually, and it can vary depending on the tellers handling a situation. So if there is a situation in your bank and you work with a person, now resolution to that situation can vary from person to person with whom you're talking, right? So there is no standard process around it. There will be human errors, of course, because when you're going to the bank, someone can enter 10 or 10 more or 10 less. They may have forgotten to deposit your check. There was a snowstorm and the bank is closed now, so your check is not valid anymore. Things like this can happen, right? So we wanted to get rid of all these things, and we wanted to build up our solution from this perspective. Current situation is that we have 5,000 bank branches, 500 daily visitors in each branch on an average, right? I'll just average. So this is the kind of analysis they're doing, just for your knowledge again. 10 employees in branch equals 50,000 employees. So we have this many branches, this many customers are coming into the branch every day. These are the number of employees we have supporting this branch. And this is the customer base that we have. So within 50,000 employees, they serve together about 2.5 million customers a day. From this 2.5 million, about 500,000 customers are depositing checks, and additional 2 million customers does fund transfer, like from one account to another account, right? So this is the high level summary for me for the entire bank. Now, if I convert, the reason I've taken this situation is because if I want to convert this into a mobile application, I want to make sure I'm solving these problems which are more painful for customers first than building any other feature for the mobile application. It's the part of the prioritization. So you will prioritize features which has most value. There is a framework called 80-20, and there is a framework called MOSCOW, MOSCOW. So there is a framework called 80-20 and MOSCOW. So 80-20 means what? You had a question, Shreya? Okay. So 80-20 is a framework. I use this really, really heavily in my life as well. So you put 20% of effort and you get 80% of output. Again, you put 20% of your effort from your daytime and you get 80% of output from that. You need to find those business points which is going to get you this level of success. If it is where you can spend, so again, to put this in numbers, right? You put $20,000 to get $80,000 in return, or you put $80,000 as an investment and you'll get only $20,000 in return. That's not, second one is not really feasible, right? It's not easy. Business will not give you approval. Your project will not get funded. They always give you funding if your business is going to grow 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x, 15x, 20x, right? If your business is going to drop down, if you spend $100,000 and if you're just going to get $20,000, you will never invest in the business. Am I right? Right. So this is the basic framework. So whatever features, same thing applies everywhere. If your company has 20 projects, which projects they will prioritize first, which will give them 20%, which will require 20% input and will give 80% output. So if you got funding on your project, it is because it is considered that it will produce more output. Otherwise, the project will not even get funded in the first place. Second, at the project level, that is the case. Second level is when you are within the project now, you need to prioritize features, right? So in our last class, we have used this list that these are the features we want to build in iOS and Android app. Do you guys remember this? Right? So from this feature, which feature should I prioritize first? Which feature should I work on first? That's the most important part I want to discuss. Because if you give this in wrong order, your software will break or will take longer time. It's like when you're building a house. Will you start painting the wall first? You cannot, right? You cannot decide the paint color. You first need to build a wall. Before even you build a wall, you need to build the foundation. Before even you get the foundation, you need to get the permissions, right? Before even you get the permissions, you want to make sure you get the funding for this. So there is a sequential process that needs to follow. So there is a priority in every single step that we do in company. And if we are not clear on our priority, we will let entire project go in vain because we will not be able to translate that priority to our team and they will just do work on random stuff as opposed to the stuff that they should be working on. So this is the list of features. Our goal is to prioritize from this list of features what features should go first and what features should go next. Okay, that is one thing. And how would we make the decision? Using this pain points list of problems that we are facing as a company and list of problems that our customers are facing. Identifying if I build this feature, how many customers will get affected? How much my business will increase if I build this feature? So that those two things will always give you an idea, should I prioritize this or should I deprioritize this? Make sense? So I'll give you an example. In my company, we are also building a mobile application right now. And they are trying to work on the login feature, login and sign up. So we have about 2,000 customers. We have a website where we already have this login and sign up feature, right? So we are trying to find out how can we deliver this mobile application faster within like 3 to 4 months from now. So I suggested them, we have about 2,000 customers who are signing up on daily basis. We do have a website for them where they can go ahead and sign up. And we have more than 80,000 customers who are logging in every single month. And 2,000 customers who are signing up. So when I was prioritizing, I told them that, hey, I think we should probably build the login feature first in mobile application. For the sign up feature, we can tell customers to go to our website or have a link at the bottom. When they click on that link, it will take them to our website from mobile application. Am I making sense? Why? Because if 80,000 customers can log in, when they log in, they are able to make their payments in time. I'm getting more business, more revenue from them. From that same time, it is going to take me the same time and same money to build login feature or to build sign up feature. But I want to put my money first on sign in. I want to establish my business and then build sign up process in my mobile application. Making sense? 80-20 rule, right? So Uber app that you are seeing right now versus Uber app that you saw 8 years ago or 10 years ago, it is very different, right? A lot of features have been built right now as opposed to what they were before. Like Facebook, you see a lot more new features, but all those features were not built on day one, correct? This is the same funda, 20-80, 20% input, 80% output. You need to think that way. So let's talk about a real example now. So this is the business case. I'm just attaching it for your information here. From this thing that we had here, list of problems and current situation, we translated that into business case. So Bank of America's customer must go to bank branch to transfer money. Customers often must wait for days before the transaction is completed, and they can do the transaction only during the business hours. This is the problem statement. Solution: provide a mobile platform to a customer to allow them making these transactions in real time anywhere and everywhere. Do you see the solution? Have I used any technology here? I've called mobile platform. Actually, I should not even have called out that, right? I should just say provide a platform to a customer to allow them making these transactions in real time anywhere and everywhere. This is the solution. This is the business case. When you talk to a CEO, when you talk to executive group, this is all they need. They do not need to see this list. This is all for our use. They do not want to see this list. So if you're in an interview and if someone asks you about your project, nobody wants to know about all these things. All they want to know is this: what was the project about and what was the solution, and how was it successful? It was successful because revenue goals were predicted 10% additional growth in 6 months. Business goals, so this is all predicted right now when the project starts. But when you're in the interview, your project has completed. So this is your actual goal. 10%, we saw 10% additional growth in 6 months after the project launch. We saw that we created branch-less experience for our customers within 1 year, and customers can do banking anywhere and everywhere. We had more than 4 million customers who downloaded our app, right? 20% of our customers started using mobile application in few months after a launch. 50% of our customers will start using mobile application in 12 months after a launch. So this is the prediction, but this became a reality after the project has launched. It can surpass this number or it can lower this number. It depends. It's a prediction, right? When we go with the project. So this is your business case and this is your project charter. Same thing, problem statement, solution. I've just called out the scope here. I need to create an iOS mobile application, and I have the login feature, transfer funds for checking account, transfer funds for external accounts. This is the Android application. So iOS and Android are different mobile application. So there will be different team required to build them. So this is one scope, this is second scope, and scope exclusion is we are not going to create specific applications for iPad and tablets. Key performance indicator are exactly same that we had above in business case. So this is how you create project charter, right? And at the end, you have the stakeholder analysis, which is you have a project manager, business analyst, product owner, senior architect, developers, automation engineers, UX, UI, project sponsor, business expert. These are the people who are involved in this project. And then there will be some assumptions, some constraint, and some time frame. I want to launch this project in 12 months from now. We have a resource constraint, or we have money constraint, or whatever you want to put, you can put it here. So this is just to give you an idea. Again, you don't have to master writing these templates or master writing these documents. All I'm trying to share here is that when you go in the interview, you should exactly know what is expected in each document, right? And I want you to use these case studies. These are the case studies we can say in the interview. Hey, when I was working for a company which was working on the, when we were working on the personal or checking account related project, this was our problem statement and this is the solution we had. And this was my role in that, right? I did the stakeholder analysis. I created the business requirements document. I created user journey. I did perform the user research, market research, competitive analysis. All those things are your responsibility. And at the end, this was the result. Results achieved here. Where is it? This is the result we achieved. This is your story. STAR technique: situation, task, action, and result. If you guys have attended last week's class on Thursday, this is how we go about it, right? This is your story. We need to create 3 stories like this for our interview, and that's all you need to clear your interview. And I'll be working with you to help you create the stories for your own resumes and for your own project based on your background, right? If you realize 30 minutes interview, in 30 minutes interview, they're going to ask you, tell me about yourself, tell me about the project, tell me about your strengths and weaknesses, tell me about a time where you faced challenge, how did you solve it? These are standard questions. 20% of your meeting time will go in this. And we are going to create 4 or 5 stories that will help us answer those things really, really well. And that's all you need to know. Remaining 10%, 10 minutes or 15 minutes in the meeting, nobody can predict what can go in that. But we can assume that the jargons that we have used in our meeting, for first 20 minutes, whatever words we have used, they may ask us more questions on the basis of that. Okay, so without further delay, I actually wanted to start the project for mobile application. Let me show you the journey that I've created. So in our last week's class, this was the tool that we have used, which is apps.diagram. I'm going to share this with you. These are wireframes. Okay, these are wireframes. Do you guys need a break or do you guys want me to continue? All good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, cool. And whenever you guys feel that you guys are getting tired or you need a break in between, feel free to let me know, because I always want to make sure that whenever class is going on, everyone is following. Okay. So if I want to build a mobile application, this is my journey. As a customer, what happens? I go to App Store, I click on install. After I click on install, there will be two options, right? I click on install, app gets downloaded, then I click on open. Once I click on open, I get this screen that where do you want this app to access your device location? I'm sure you guys have all seen this, right? Yes, I want to allow or I don't want to allow. Based on whatever your choice is, you will make that decision. Next step is it will ask you whether you want to allow notifications to be sent on your phone from this app. Do you see these are 4 standard steps on every mobile application that you download? Correct? Next step after that, what is that? You will see one screen which tells that, hey, this is our company and this is what we do. Then you click on get started. When you click on get started, it will ask you for your phone number. This is for the Uber app. Okay, it is asking you for your phone number. I've taken some screenshots from the Uber mobile application, but before it was created, someone has created the screenshots. You have a question, Sazia? Okay, so over here, the next step is once you see this screen, someone clicks on get started, you need to ask for the phone number. Once you put the phone number, when you say you can select your country and then you can put your phone number here, right? Once you put your phone number, it will send you a verification code. Once that verification code is sent, you can enter your email ID. Once you enter your email ID, you have to confirm your email ID as well, because it's a valid email or not, right? You put your email ID here. Once you put your email ID, the next step in that is you create your account with your first name, your last name, your phone number, and your email ID is already here, right? Next is set up your payment. Correct? Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, whatever options you choose for your, whatever options are allowed, you need to put that. If you choose credit card, you need to enter your credit card information here. Then click on next. And you can also select your country here if you have to. Over here, there is a country because Uber operates in international market, right? So we need to select we need to make sure they're selecting the right market here, right country. Once you give that information, then customer is going to see right option here, correct? Do you feel this was your journey while you download the Uber?
So basically, as a BA, our job is to show the functionality of the app, not the coding or anything. That's
Not the coding. Coding, coding, I said 80% of our efforts will be on this. 20% of our efforts will be to work with development team and integrate this with the code to make sure it works really well.
Make sure they're doing their part.
Yes. So again, so if you see, this is not simple. Someone has really used their brain to create this journey, to remove the friction points. As a customer, what you think it is so simple to access, someone has literally put days and night to create that experience such good. Right?
Yeah.
It is not easy thing. So before even, you cannot roll out this experience without finding out what challenges you have in this experience, right? So if I see right now in this experience, there is an obvious challenge. Why do we need to verify phone number and email ID both? As a user, I'll get frustrated with that. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right? And I also get frustrated, first of all, whenever I download an app, why should I even create my account? Let me just explore my rides. If I need a ride, I'll create an account at that point in time. Correct?
Correct.
So we need to understand this. We need to feel for our customers. What are they feeling good and what are they feeling bad about, right? And then we have to create this journey for our customers. So when we work with business stakeholders, they'll just give us some random requirement. Hey, we want to create an app. We want to make sure they can provide the phone number. They can get their phone number verified, an email verified, and they can add their payment and credit card information, and they will be routed to their actual home screen where they can request for a ride. So now when you heard this in one sentence, that one sentence needs to be translated in this journey now. And this is, again, mind you, it is only for one type of customer who is downloading your app first time, and this is the experience for that person. Now, if I want to complicate this, right, this is where it gets complicated, and this is why they hire you. Okay. On each screen, what can go wrong here? On each screen, what can go wrong? On install screen, what can go wrong?
The button doesn't react, doesn't do what it's supposed to.
What's next? So there are several things that can go wrong here. Either your phone doesn't have enough memory, your file is too large, you do not have an internet connection, or it just got hanged there for something. So this customers cannot go to the next step unless all those 4 problems have been solved. Correct? So when we are writing requirements document, we just don't have to write this user journey. We actually have to write and create these screens for negative experience as well, which means how the install button would look when the app is not downloaded, or when the app is in progress to be downloaded. When there is an internet connection, how this button will look like. Are you following? So now you see why they hire us. So this, right, creating this document itself is a really challenging job, right? And this is the main task that we have. Then they can probably put you on the spot in the interview and tell you, hey, can you create the wireframe or mockup for this? So you can always go to this app.diagrams.net. You can, and I'll just play with this tool. You can have all these options here. You can just type here in the search to see mobile. If you type your mobile, it will give you mobile option like we did in our last class. I just drag and drop from here like this, and I can start creating whatever I want here. And then I can just connect them if I have to. It's super simple, right? So second screen, once you click on app to open, right? There are very few things that can go wrong. Over here, you have 2 options. So when you click on deny, right? When you click on deny, there is a link here with this screen and this screen at the end. Can you guys tell me what is the connection there?
If you don't give it permission, you need to give it an alternate location.
Yes. A default location, right? And, or you can give an option here. Hey, turn on your location so we can track where exactly you need ride from. So now you see why our role is justified. Because when we give the screens, when you give this to developers, right, developers will not know what to do. You need to write down this explicit requirements. And this is the reason we create business requirement document. Adding this user journey in business requirement document is just one thing. We also have to describe every single thing that can go right and wrong and how all the screens are connected with each other in the document. That is our job. So Shay, if someone asks you in SDLC, what is your role? We create this document. This is our responsibility. We create wireframes, we create mockups, we create user journey, we create hi-fi designs, and we write business requirement documents, we create project charter. This is what we do. Am I making sense? So this is all for sign-up experience. Let's go to the sign-in experience now. So sign-in experience is a little different. Install. I think I don't have that created here, but sign-in experience, what would be the sign-in experience here? So the moment you click on the app, right, it will take you to the screen where you can sign in, as opposed to entering your email ID and all. There will be an option for sign in. The moment you give your information to sign in, from this screen, it will directly put you on this screen, right? And from here, when you choose where to and from to location, and you can choose a driver, and then you can book a ride, and all those things will happen. So now you will remember why were we looking at this last time? KimForest.net. So over here, Uber app. I'm giving you a shortcut. This is my go-to website. Go ahead, Sazia.
Does it also give you option to, when you're signing up, to have your password remember, or like the next time you open up the app, it automatically signs you in because you have selected the remember my password?
Yes, that's an excellent question, Sazia. So based on the analysis that has been done over last 5 years, people do not ask for password in the latest apps now. They let you log in using your iPhone code or password, that Face ID, fingerprint,
or Facebook.
And once you verify your phone number here once in the sign up process, after that, all you have to do is you're always logged in. You never get logged out from the login unless you explicitly want to get logged out. Right. So again, this is a requirement to give this requirement to someone. Otherwise, we are creating an app where every time someone has to log in, we do not have to even give an option to remember password here, because password is not required in first place.
And as a user, I always like when an app, like, instead of signing up and putting my first and last name and that tedious steps of all my information, if I can just log in from a previous account, like my Facebook account or something.
Yep, because you don't have to sign up, right? So all you're doing is you're making it easy for someone to sign in by giving in a Facebook sign-in option, Google sign-in option, or by not logging them out every time, or just by verifying their phone number once and not ask for that again, or your Face ID or your fingerprint. Just for login, there are like 8 different types of login.
So who's responsible for like getting the information from those third parties, like from Facebook, getting the login information from their servers?
So what we do is we tell them, we ask business that what all sign-in options you want to provide. Facebook, Google sign-in, Facebook sign-in if you want to provide. If they say yes, we just create a mock-up and we put that option there. It's on developer to find out how to make that happen. This is the thing that will be discussed in design phase, where how to make this happen, what kind of third parties technology we need to integrate with them. It is all part of the discussion after that. But when we're talking about the BRD, we are not going in that detail. Okay. So one thing I think I requested you all last week. I'm not sure if you have done this or not yet, but if you're not, then please do this today or tomorrow, but not later than that. If you have Uber app in your phone or Lyft app in your phone, I want you to remove that app if you're comfortable. Once you remove that app, I want you, do you all know how to take videos on your phone? If you have iPhone, I know that there is an option where you can start recording your screen. There is a screen recorder. So I want, when you have uninstalled app from your phone, I want you to go to the App Store, take the complete video of your journey. Okay? Take the complete video of your journey when you are signing up, then when you are signing in, and then when you are booking a ride, and then canceling a ride. Just go through these 4 different journeys: sign up, sign in, book a ride, and cancel a ride. Cancel a ride, you may not be able to do it unless you really book a ride, but we don't have to really charge our card just to go through this experience. But I just want to give you an idea that there is an option where you can do that as well. So record this entire journey on your phone. Once you record that, open that video, take as many screenshots as possible wherever you see any variations in the screen. Like if it goes from one screen to another to third one, third to fourth, fourth to fifth, take those screenshots. Take all those screenshots, go to your laptop, dump all the images and videos in your laptop. From there, go to app.diagram.net, import all the images here, and create this journey. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Because whatever you're doing right now, there was a person like me or like someone else who has created this journey for someone in the past. And now you are just the end user of it. But you are not doing anything different than what I had in my mind. Right? So as an end user, you exactly know how this process should work. It is just that you are unaware that I know so much about the application. Make sense? I think I've told you, each one of you on the call, that just by using software, you don't know how much you have learned. And I think you can possibly relate it now, why I was saying that. Every single screen that you have seen so far in your last 10 years, someone has built that screen. And before someone has built that screen, this is the process they have followed. They created this journey, they created these wireframes, they created these mock-ups, they talk about the good things and bad things about this screen that can happen. How can we bypass this screen? How can we go from 10 screen to 5 screen application? All these discussions happens over and over for years now for the same application, for the same company, because they all want to get better.
For that, you have to actually delete your account and re-sign up.
Yeah. So what? Again, if you are comfortable, right? I cannot. Of course, I cannot force on this because you have to again add your credit card information and all those things. But it will really open up your mind. Now, this time when you are logging in as a business analyst, you are analyzing the entire journey, and you would see so many touch points. You can literally play with the screen. Hey, I will just enter 9-digit phone number. What message it is showing me here? Right? All the negative scenarios that you have that I can think of on this screen, you can actually create those scenarios by tapping on the button. And those designs have been created by a BA or a UX designer for you. Not like this color combination and font size and all. We just create the mock-up like this, a skeleton. And then designer is going to use the skeleton, put the colors, put the right font size, put the font color, make it look nice and all. It's not our job. But we do provide this skeleton where they can click on this and go to the next, and entire journey is completed. Is it making sense? I really enjoy when I do this exercise. I really enjoy. I feel this is the simplest exercise anyone can do. And this is the reason I keep saying that building mobile application is so easy that one can't even imagine. Now, if it is a personal app, a banking app, the only difference is that after all this thing has happened, there is just this one screen where you will see personal account and checking account. That's it. And you can deposit a check or you can make a transfer to someone's account. That is the only additional thing. Everything else that you see on the screen, this is going to be same for even your mobile application. Am I right? Even if it is a restaurant app or a Yelp, every single thing is the same. The only difference is that the moment you're logging in, instead of searching for a ride now, you are searching for a restaurant near you. So literally you can build any mobile application, and I can give you one more trick. This is the my secret weapon when I'm working at office. People take usually 2 months to 3 months to get to this user journey, to create all these things and all. I literally do this in 2 days. And my secret weapon and my secret recipe is here. I just go to ThemeForest. I just go to appduke.com. Over here, if you see, I just typed Uber app. These people, they sell the designs for the app, not the code, just the design, right? So
They've done the work already.
So what I do is I just look at like 6 or 7 of them. One that I like, I just open that I like Rover a lot. I'll click on this, and now you'll see the entire user journey that we just talked about has been captured here. Let me show you how. So about the project. So this is their solution. This is their mission statement. So it says this if you buy this, it will give you 40+ screens. It will give you free icons. It will give you colors that you can change. It is fully customizable. Again, it is not for you. A designer can very well use this. I've also done a designer job in my past, and all I do is I just download this app. I just buy this $18 thing. I change it to my needs, and I just do not do anything at office for another 2 months. Because people literally build this from scratch. I go by SmartWeb. So over here, if I go this, let me go back. This is your user journey. So it starts with the screen when you download the app. There is a sign up option. There is a login option. Then there is a request to write. This is just a tips to use your app, right? You can skip this if you want to. So first 5 screens will be a tutorial for you. how to use this mobile application. So skip, skip, skip. And this is how it looks like. Sign up screen is this. You put your first name, last name, your phone number, your password, your sign up name, and you select a country. Then you log in. When you log in, this is the wrong password in message. This is your phone number. Then next is, this is the next screen. After you put your phone number, verify your screen, verify your phone number, update your information. Okay, you are ready to go. Get started. So this screen has a lot of impact. When you say ready to go, it just, by looking at this check mark, you feel good. It is there for a reason. You feel good. Hey, I completed something. Then you click on get started. And now you're on the app. This is the ride. I select from and to destination. Once I do that, I'll select the destination, choose a destination, set destination. This is how the ride is looking like. This is the path they're going to take. These are the drivers I have to select from. I can add my promo code. And after adding a promo code, note to driver if I have to. My pickup time is this. This is the payment method I have to select. Add a card if there is no payment method. You book the ride. It says we are processing. You see, even for we are processing, there is a screen created to show this icon. Then this is your driver. You can call him or you can message him. This is your fare at the end. Once the ride is complete, you can leave the rating. You can message your driver if there is anything wrong. And that's it. That's your entire journey. Am I right? Someone has created this work for you. I kid you not, literally people will spend more than 2 to 3 months just to get to this journey, which we can literally get to it in 1 or 2 days. But do not share the secret recipe with anyone. It is just for you guys, since you're part of this class. And when you start your job, if you're working on any consumer facing application, whether it's Uber, whether it's personal account, whether it's regarding mortgage, you can find all those screenshots here. It will tell you exactly how the process works right now. And what you have to do is use that information, change it to your company's need. We cannot use these exact screenshots. We cannot use these exact screenshots and create this journey like this for our company. But what we need to do, we need to look at this, and then we need to use this tool. Sorry. We need to use this tool, apps.diagram, and create this number of steps and screens and wireframes with this as an example in mind. And then your designer will come back and change all these things, make it look nice, and then developer is going to start coding this. So now you see how much work goes behind before someone can start coding, right? So high fidelity designs, when I say high fidelity designs, hi-fi designs is what they call it office. Hi-fi designs is this. What we created here is basic mockups and wireframes. This is user journey, wireframes, mockups. If I make this clickable, which is when I click on this get started, it takes me here. I can do this in this tool if I have to. It will become prototype. P-R-O-T-O-T-I-Y-P, prototype. And this is the best tool to work in any company if you are able to do this. 70% of your job in this requirement gathering phase, 70% of your job is done because you're going to use these screenshots and this journey while creating business requirement document. Those screenshots, those journey will become part of this BRD. And now, because people are able to see things in front of their eyes, they can really associate with your project and they can understand things really well and they can give you approvals easily on that. This is all to make our stakeholders' life easy. If someone just tells me that I want to create an app like Uber, it's easier said than done. If someone says that, I'll literally go to Uber app, take every single screenshot, create this journey and tell them, hey, is this what you're looking for? Now it will make him think, do I need this or do I don't need this? Right? It's like when you go and when you think that I want to paint my house, okay, I think I just have to select one color. When you start looking at the brochure, it will blow your mind how many colors you can select from. Well, do I want this shade of white or this shade of white? Well, do I want this color in this room or this color in this room? Right now you start talking because you are seeing things. People talk more when they see things. And before that, if they talk, it may make sense, but everyone is going to forget that. So our goal is to make sure we document everything in a way where everyone approves that information and there is no confusion for a person who's reading the document after that. This is our main role. Along with several other responsibilities in analysis phase, this is our main role. I would like to take a pause here for a few minutes. I think I threw a lot of information on you guys, but just want to make sure. How do you feel about it?
It makes sense. The more tips, the better, though.
Yes, of course. Right. This is just the beginning. So this
Yes, of course.
But so
I have a question.
go ahead.
Did you actually explain the Moscow?
This is wireframe, a skeleton, and you just put some random names and this button. There is no color and nothing like this, right? This is the wireframe. Mockup is more like you create this screen with some colors and little closer to the actual design. An actual design is the one that is your designer is going to create, which is going to look like this. So mockup is in between this and this one.
I asked for Moscow definition.
Sorry?
I asked for Moscow definition.
Mockup definition.
Moscow.
Moscow.
Oh, sorry. Moscow. Okay. I think, Shazia, when you are speaking, I think for some reason your voice is not coming clear still.
Moscow.
But I think I understood your question now. Moscow. So we're going to talk about Moscow in our next class, but let me just tell you what it is. Whenever you build these features, so every single screen you have here, right? Every single screen, you're going to mention, is this a must have? Is this could have? Is this would have? Is this should have? Which means I must eat every single day, right? I could do 10 more things if I have time. I would do this if I were you. So you see the priority, requirements priority, right? So Moscow is must have, should have, could have, and would have. It goes in the priority order. So developers, when they
won't have.
It won't have will not be there. Would have. Won't have is would have is
would have.
If it won't have, then we don't even have to put it in the document.
What's the O?
Moscow, M-O-S-C-O-W. So M, S, C, and W. They just want to make you remember that. So they said Moscow, M, S, C, W. Must, should, could, and would. So once you define what features you want to build, under that feature, or even at that feature level, you can probably come up with that, hey, these are the features we absolutely want to have, which is must have. These are the features we could have. These are the features we should have because customers are asking for it, right? And you don't have to prioritize this. You will be working with your business stakeholder to get those priorities. Okay, and then you share the exact same priority with your team members. So these are the two frameworks you use, 80/20 and Moscow for prioritization at the product level, then at the feature level, and then at the requirement or screen level, like this.
Can you give an example for a would have feature?
Would have would be, so over here, I would say this email verification is completely bullshit. This is would have. I would not spend my time and energy on this one. Because if I'm verifying someone's phone number, it is a mobile application. Why do I really have to put the email verification in here? This requirement can be coming from legal team or can be coming from some other people who do not think forward, who are still stuck with the website process and they want to build a website experience in the name of mobile experience. That is not how it works, right? So I would say this is a would have experience. If we have time, if people are really pushing for this, I first of all don't even agree that we want to build this. But if it is required, I think we can still launch mobile application without verifying someone's email ID. I would put this as priority. So when I say must, should, could, and would, it's a priority. High priority, medium priority, low priority, and like even lower priority. These are the four things that is mapped to, right? It's the priority that we're talking about here.
And you're talking about Moscow in project.
Yeah.
So in the final product, you can actually leave out the would have?
Usually people don't even get to could have. Like people aim high.
Mhm.
You are lucky if you get should have, or I can say you are lucky if you get must have. Based on my experience, like there are so many unknowns that comes in, and the moment you say it's should have and could have and would have, people are already assuming that you're not delivering this. But those can become your next priority after the project is delivered, and then it can become must have because your first product has rolled out. Now you want to make it even better, right? So iPhone and iOS, every month or every 6 months we have an update. So they have so many would have and could haves. They're trying to fix it and put it again and again after months and months. But must have is like, hey, every 6 months there has to be a new iOS release. We cannot really get bypass that. That is a must have for them. Every new year we must have a new iPhone. We cannot bypass that. We cannot compromise on that. If we have more time, we can talk about the should have, could have, and would have. Consider them as 1, 2, 3, 4, right? In simple terms, this is the priority order that we are creating for someone. It's like when you are at home and like if you want to prioritize something for your baby, how would you do that, right? You'll prioritize it. These are things you should do. This is what you could do. And this is what you would want to do, but not right now.
So it's like getting a car that'll just get you from A to B versus a luxury
Yeah.
edition.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's very well said. So our smallest product, whenever we go live, we always go live with a small product. Like Abdul said, right? From going from A to B, we just need a car. We just need some commute, which can take us there faster. I don't want all the luxury features where I can have a good speakers in that, micro GPS and all those things. I don't want all those features. I want a car that can take me from one place to another first, and then I can I can add on features on top of it. This is exactly how it works in IT. You go with the small product, you keep adding on that on top of it. Why? There is one important thing there. The reason is when customers start using your product, you will actually know customer needs your product or not. And if they do not need a product, why to spend millions of dollars and waste it when they're not going to use it? So you get that feedback. The reason is to get that feedback mechanism. Remember I told you that feedback mechanism is very important. You need to constantly hear your customers. We have a dedicated team in our companies where they call customers every single day and talk about the products and our products and say what is good and what is bad in that. Why do you choose us, or why have you chosen our competitor? Every single day there is a person who is making these calls and talking to customers. And whatever we get from those meetings or those recordings, we convert them into our roadmap, our feature list, and we try to improvise our journey or add new features or delete things if they're not looking for those things.
So basically that is after the product has been launched. Is there something that we can do before the project is launched to a certain number of customers just at a test stage?
Yes, you do it every single stage. So
Okay.
before the product is launched, you actually go to Starbucks. There are companies called usertesting.com. You go to those companies, they will be validating your product. So you will tell customer that, hey, assume that you are buying a loan from us, or assume that you are taking a ride from us. And this is the experience. How do you feel about that? So when they click and you will see. And so the way it works is it's a lab session in the office. Mm-hmm. And like around the customer just sees there's a glass around, which nobody can see, but there is an audience sitting outside that glass. I could see through that glass what customer is talking about and what customer is doing. So when customer plays with the software that I've created, I would see where is he getting stuck, what is his feedback, why is he getting stuck there, right? So it will tell me. So I will do that 5 or 6 times, and it tells me that my app that I've built is good or not. Even before that, I will call customers and try to find out what are their exact challenges. So what we did in Bank of America here, we talked about the challenges, right? What are the customer challenges here? These are the customer challenges. This is where we interview first customer. Once we create this journey, user journey, which is this one. Once we create this journey, we make this clickable prototype. And now I talk to customers again about this. We pay them money to give us feedback. And once they give us feedback, now we go live. And now we again collect feedback from customers after going live. So it's a continuous process, continuously evolving process.
And high def design would be like you can actually click through it all and interact with it.
Click through, whenever you make anything click through, it's called prototype. High definition is this screen. This one screen itself is high definition view. But if you want to make it clickable, you can make it clickable by clicking on this, by making this button clickable. There are tools to do that. And there is
high. You said high fidelity, I think.
High fidelity, yes. This is high fidelity design. When you make it clickable, when you click on it and it takes you to the next screen, that's called prototype. So we have wireframes, mockups, prototype, and high fidelity design. 4 different types.
The prototypes? No, that's somebody.
Sorry?
The prototype we don't do.
We do. Sometimes we have to just make this button clickable by right clicking on it, attach it to this link, and it will just take you to that screen. That's it. This tool can let you do all those things. And you guys don't know this yet, but as an end user, you have given your feedback to so many softwares. There is a software called Hotjar. So what this company do? So you see this company, you see this is the website. All the big companies uses tools like this. Okay, what happens in this tool? A customer who has come to your site, until what length of the page he has scrolled, where all he has clicked, where he paused. If he paused, where is he looking at? Like my eye contact with the website. All this information is captured for really, really good, elegant websites. And this insights, this is the feedback mechanism, one more feedback mechanism. So you can tell that, hey, my customers are always scrolling at the half of the page and then they're leaving. All my customers are clicking on left button, but not the right button. Why is it that? Right? So this is another way. But after you go live, you implement this tool. This is pretty easy to implement. If your developer can implement this in one day, if he has to. But we need to first take our company's process to approve this tool, and then you can implement this. It can literally see what you're typing in your form. Literally see that what you're typing in your form. But there are reasons that they're using this tool is because they have masked all that information, so nobody can see that. And it can exactly tell you, out of 5,000 users who came in today, out of 5,000 users, 2,500 click on this button, 2,500 left from the website. And when they left from the website, this was the last thing that they did. So now you know, oh, why people are leaving. I see a trend because my price is high, or because there is some problem in the website, or because my experience is really bad. So now you see the trend, and now you go back and update your user journey, and now you do it again. All these things again, and you create a new screen, you go through on the project, and you roll out that experience. This is the heart of IT. So far, you guys have not known about this. I'm really passionate when it comes to this user experience and all. This is the heart of the IT. It's like when you are a builder, and if you want to, you have an option. You can only have one person, a person who can put bricks for you, or a person who can build this insights for you. Who would you choose, right? You want to choose a person who is going to build a house which customers are looking for, because that is going to give you more business. You can find anyone who can put the bricks, but a person who can give you this analysis, who can give you this insights, that is the most valuable person for you in the company. So our role is not going to be exactly like that, but our journey of our career would be ending somewhere on those lines, that we will end up becoming that person for the company and for the project. And again, this is not difficult at all, guys. It is all, you just have to be open-minded, and you should just have a little more attention to details attitude. And I will not just take things on its face. I will look at things, I will create some documents, and then I'll come back to you. Right? I didn't get a chance to start writing BRD today, but I think we'll probably do that tomorrow. I will write an extensive business requirement document for this flow for mobile application. And we can go from there. I think today we created project charter, user journey, we learned waterfall, and we have taken actually two more examples, which is Walmart and personal and checking account example, in addition to Uber application. So I think I'll probably turn it over to you guys. I've shared a lot of information. We still have 14 more minutes. I'm open for questions and answers. And just so that you know, there will be a dedicated session where we'll be talking about explicit responsibilities for a BA, PO, and a Scrum Master. Right now, I'm doing it as we move forward to tell you this is what PO does, this is what a BA does. But there will be a session where you will exactly know what are the differences between those three and what you need to put in your resume and what types of job you should be applying for.
Is there any exercise that we have to do except the screenshots of Uber app?
I would tell you, if you can, just go to this appdupe.com.
Yeah.
Let me give you even a better example. Go to this Appify, appify.com. I want you to create your own mobile application. So go to here, it says no code platform, right? So this is a platform that lets you create mobile application within like 20 minutes. Okay. So what you need to do here, select mobile application, this one, click on get started, enter your business name. I'm just saying BA class. Choose the type of your business, whether it's an education related one, it's a restaurant, or it's a dating, it's health and wellness, online store, whatever you want to choose, right? I'll say online store. Choose the color of the theme. I will just pick some random ones. Which one you want to build, iPhone or Android? I'll go with iPhone because I have iPhone. And I'll say save and continue. So it is asking me for my email ID. Or you can also do continue with Google if you want to. So it has sent me verification code. Again, this is a user journey. If you're noticing this, this is a user journey. So let me see if I've got the code. So see, this is so inconvenient, right? I'm doing it from my website and they're going to send me verification code in my email now. So I have to go back and check it. But if I'm doing it through my mobile application, if you notice, whenever you get the verification code, the moment you tap on it, right here, there will be a verification code provided in your mobile phone on this page.
It's autofill almost all the time. Yeah.
And let me go and check my email. I have received the code, yes. So, but it's so funny. I've received the code, which is of 2 digits. If you're seeing my screen, can you read this? I have received the code as 222. 6 numbers, but 222. You see that?
Yep.
So such a stupid thing. Over here, the format is 3 and 3. But why are you sending me code as 222? Like it is separated by first 2 number, which is 42-15-38. Why would you do that? Just do it this way, right? 425 421 and then hyphen, then 538. Why would you do that to customer? Customer would get confused, right? Click on verify. And now let's see what happens. My app is ready. You see this? So now I can pick elements for my mobile application from here. How I want the mobile application to look like. Do I want my front screen to be like this, be like this, be like this? There are several options that I have here. So all you're doing is you're playing with design. Do you see this? You're playing with design. It is really a good exercise for you. You can build 4 or 5 applications with 4 or 5 different designs. I'll select this as a list view. And then background apps, splash screen is the screen. Splash screen is this one. Not this one. This is called splash screen. The first screen that you would see when you open the app, that is called splash screen. Over here, what your splash screen should look like, it should look like this. That's okay. And I can change it if I want to. And I click on OK here. And this is my splash screen. This is my app's background. And this is my app icon. And I can still play with colors if I have to. I'll just say save and continue. The first look of your app is getting ready, and it just give me a barcode, and I can just open directly on my phone. Give me 1 minute. I'll show you how.
And I had a question. Is there a high demand for BAs? Like, because for example, when the example you gave us about building a home, there's so many people that can lay out the bricks and the flooring and all that for you. But so there'll always be like a demand for them. But like, what about for BAs? Like, because so far to me, from what you've shown us, it looks somewhat simple. I'm not gonna say it's really easy because I know there's some parts you have to use your brain. But it seems like there might be it might be oversaturated.
So let me give you some statistics around it. 20 years before, in America, more than 80% projects in America were failing. More than 80% projects. And I'm not, this is not a made up number. This is there on Google. More than 75 to 80% projects were failing because they did not have a role called BA or a product owner. And when they introduced this role called business analyst in companies, that number had gone down from 80% to 45 or 40%, up to 2012 or 2013. After 2010 is when the product owner role got really famous because people started working in agile environment and they started introducing that role in the company as well. And that number had gone down from 45 to about 25 to 30% right now. So it took 20 years to bring down that failure ratio that we had for the project. And I'm talking about 80% of projects, which means each project is at least $5 million. Just imagine how much money is being wasted from every company, right? In one team, you need one BA, one product owner maximum, and you'll have 4 developers. So opportunities will always be less as compared to developers. But at the same time, a lot of companies are hiring BAs and POs right now. So market is not saturated because this is a skill which every company is looking for. Once you start working in one project, people will look for you. From LinkedIn, they'll call you and they say, can you work for me? Can you work for me? Because you'll start adopting a trend in your knowledge, which could be financial related, which could be healthcare related, which could be technology related. So once you start getting those expertise, you will become an irreplaceable product for the company. And BA is the only role, BA and PO are the only roles which nobody in the world can automate because it's a people related role. It's a creative role. Robots cannot be creative as BA can be. They can do work if you tell them this is the work, this is the pattern, right? Number of developer jobs, all-time high. Nobody can touch that, right? But if I want to compare, market is not saturating. The number of jobs are higher for developers is for a reason because a lot of people are doing masters in computer science and all, so they can hire those people right from there. But BA and PO skills have never been taught in the schools.
But can't they use like a service like Hotjar and use that to automate? Or
it's not easy. Someone who has recommended Hotjar, that person is a BA. Companies don't know this. So using Hotjar is not the key. How to translate Hotjar's insight into customer journey, that is key. And nobody can do that other than a BA or a product owner, right? So these skills are not taught in the school, and hence there is a scarcity of this skill. If you go to Bay Area or New York or like even Dallas, right? It's extremely popular skills. Like BA and PO, you'll get like a lot of. First job is always difficult, of course, because when you're looking for first job, we are still learning. But once you do it for a year or two, you don't have to look back in your career. And you start as a BA and a PO, but later on you can actually go into a solution architect or a product manager role, or more into the project management. It all depends on what your strengths are, right? If you like working on the innovation, you'll go into the product side. If you like managing people, you'll go into the managing people role, which is project management. And if you like into technical side, then you'll go into the solution architect. But these are three different paths that will open up for you after a year or two. And I do not see this role is going to die in next 15, 20 years for sure.
So I have a question. So we pretty much learning about BA thing. What about product owner? Like, are we gonna discuss about that?
I think it's the other way around. Whatever we have learned so far, this is all product owner.
Okay.
What we learn from tomorrow, that's business analysis.
What about Scrum Master?
Scrum Master, I'm going to cover that probably in third week. I'll tell you, Scrum Master role is a very short role. And as we move forward in each project, you will see how that role is touching at different areas. I have a very organized class, and I don't want to jump here and there. So I give you one thing at a time. Let's digest this. Next thing in next class.
Okay.
Cool. But so far, whatever you've done, this is all product owner, guys. This is not BA. Our job will start from tomorrow, which is writing business requirements document. That is the first job for a BA.
Isn't product owner makes more money than BA?
Yeah, I wish that's not true.
That's not true?
No.
Being paid at the same level. That could be $5,000 or $10,000 up and down, depending on your state or your skill sets. I don't think they get paid more or less. I think they both get paid equally. Scrum Master is the role which is a little higher paying role than BA or a PO. It's just because you're going to manage people. But that's not going to be an easy one for your first job unless you have experience managing people in the past.
I have a friend who is a Scrum Master.
So that is definitely a little higher paying role than BA or a PO.
I think it's also
Okay.
very stressful too.
Yes, you have to manage the team, right?
One question.
Go ahead.
My question is between BA and product owner. BA is more involved with the team, and product owner is more involved with the stakeholders or clients or consumer or customers. Is that right? Or maybe I'm.
That's correct. That's exactly how it is. And you can be expected to perform both the roles at the same time for the same project.
Got
Yeah, they asked me that too.
What was that, Shrey?
They asked me that question, that if you can handle like multiple roles.
Yes. Due to COVID, the world has changed. There is a scarcity of budget, and people are expecting you to do multiple roles with the same efficiency. And this is the biggest reason we have combined these three different skills in this class. Earlier, I was teaching them separately. So very well, you could see yourself performing both the roles together.
Okay.
Right. And
In your opinion, how does that work out? Like,
you don't have to worry. This class is, I have a lot of faith in the material that I'm providing in this class and what we're doing here. I can tell you 60 to 70% of your journey when you start your job is going to be really easy. You are going to struggle. All my students who have got the job, what they say is that they get worried that, hey, have I created this right or wrong? Right? Am I doing this right or wrong? Their question is on that note, as opposed to, hey, what should I do? They exactly know what they're supposed to do, but they're just confused because they're not worked before. Right? And that's where our job offline support team is going to help you. And if you're finding your jobs on your own, I'll be working with you on creating those documents and helping you understand what is your roles and responsibility. I think it just takes 3 or 4 weeks, and then you're all set. First 3 weeks is the crucial time to get that framework in your mind, what is expected out of you, what I have to deliver. Once you know that, pretty much this class is going to help you really, really well. And you will be having access to this recording. So whenever you start your office work, for any project, whatever we are covering in the class, based on this, you will be able to ask 75% to 80% questions that is applicable for any project that you're going to work in the world. Any project. These are the 80% questions that you have to ask to your stakeholders. And the moment you start asking these questions, you don't have to look back, because you're just going to create your image in the company where you are a really thorough and the detail-oriented person. The things that we're discussing in the class here, I can tell you more than 90% BAs, actual BAs who have experience for 10 years or 12 years, they even don't go into this level of details. So I'm preparing you for the worst situation. And even if you grasp 50% of this, you're still just going to shine in your company. And you have my word on it. And I can challenge you on this when you start your job, prove me wrong. Right? So with that being said,
I like the confidence.
What was that?
I said I like the confidence.
Yeah, I am super. I know what I'm giving and what I'm bringing in, right? I can tell you after the end of this class, you will be able to challenge a person who has real experience for 3 to 4 years, and you can literally make that person sweat in his pants if you have to. So that much confidence I have in my class for sure. But just to complete the topic, this barcode, when you are doing this, you used to use this barcode to open this app on your phone, and your app is ready. And if you click on publish, you can actually forward this app to your actual customers. So it took me only 5 minutes, right? But again, so goal is that this website is creating code for you behind the scene. In reality, there will be a development team who will be creating this code for you. But our goal is very simple, right? We want to understand how the entire skeleton works. So you will be able to see this mobile application right here. Play with this. There are a lot of options that they've provided here to choose different style of designs and put things here and there. It will really open up your mind how to build mobile application. All right, I think we are at time. Any last minute question? Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the class today. Feel free to email me your feedback. If there is anything you feel we could have done differently in the class, would love to hear your feedback on it.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.